Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Already, we're live. And as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working on some game logic in Unreal Engine 5 using C++. That said, last stream and the stream before that, I did go over collision, and the stream before that, I went over key controls, but I want to see what can I actually try implement on my own using actually using those logics and all that stuff. But I will be going to new stuff as well this stream. Let's go to my gameplay screen. And guys, if I can't talk properly, that is because I'm not warmed up just yet. Yeah, well, howdy, gentlemen. I know, I appreciate you joining the stream. It's been a long time, honestly. Okay, let's say something like 6 a.m. live exclamation. Okay, and guys, I feel like I kind of overslept today. Okay, maybe eat something as well. Hiding pixels, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, good, then wake up because we're going live. Hold up, guys, let me actually choose this real quick. Okay, there we go. Good, then wake up because going live means it's time to be intentional. Listen up. All of you watching right now, this is not a let's mess around in Unreal stream, it's a builder's room. We're not here to copy paste, we're here to understand why the engine does what it does, why collisions fire, why they don't, why C++ Unreal Engine 5 shake hands and what they do. Okay, all that stuff. That said, we built on purpose today. Let me say something like, since I was planning to work on game logic this stream. Game logic here basically means I want to try to add everything that I've learned so far in a mini project. Let's go with something like mini project. I've learned key controls and collisions. Okay, and I did want to actually work on the mouse collision as well, like when I click something, the collision occurs then as well. Okay, that's it. Let's see. Okay, I guess it's loading. And guys, what is it? Is it just me that I just brushed, or does the apple really taste kind of weird? But guys, the apple is kind of chewy. Okay, there we go. So it says here, I thought people, you went live to build, not to drift. This stream is where skill turns into instinct. Good call. Mini projects. You're going to build a tiny playable prototype using only what you've learned so far. The concept simple on purpose. A playable character in a small arena. You can move, collide, things react when you hit them. That's simple. Okay, that's it. Simple does not mean easy. Course system you should add in this order. First, player input. Use what you know. Keyboard movement, not fancy abilities, just solid predictable controls. If movement feels bad, everything else collapses. Second, collision types. This is important, so listen. In Unreal Engine 5, you usually care about block collisions, walls, floors, solid obstacles, overlap collision, trigger pickups, danger zones. I see. Okay. Third, collision events on component hit. I haven't learned about on component hit, on component begin overlap for logic. Okay, I see. Okay, and then there's U class, do not replace C++ object-oriented programming. Okay, I think I see. That's it. Let's get my Unreal Engine here real quick. This is my old my Unreal Engine project from like different streams. That said, I might want to go ahead and create a new basic project. And just curious, does new project mean like I have all new content in this project? I could go ahead and hit something like Control S. Let's go with something like new map 2. Okay, I just want to save it in just in case. Okay, let's go ahead and save it. Now, inside my Unreal this project, I want to make sure that it does not lag in my stream. Okay, I think it's going smooth. And guys, let me know if it's kind of lagging. That said, I have all my content drawers as properties here. But I want to go ahead and do something. Firstly, I might want to shrink my my floor real quick because I feel it's kind of big. There we go. I think this arena size should be kind of good because I want my players and everyone to be kind of small. Okay, so many people hate on Indians now, but y'all are freaking god in the coding space. Guys, actually it does make sense. I feel like I still get hated on like way too much. I feel like, guys, what did I even do? Okay, that's let's see. Let's go all the way up here. Now let me go with something like maybe W. Okay, now I want to go ahead and load in a few classes in. So I'm gonna go to tools and then let's go to something like new class C/C++. And then let's say I want to firstly go ahead and create a actor class because I want to add collision as well. But I want to try adding mouse collision too. Like when I actually tap someone, I actually want to deal damage type stuff. That's it. Let's hit something like enter. And I'm going to call this something like enemy. Okay, this is going to be my enemies class. And then let's go ahead and create class. And guys, I hope it's not lagging on my stream type stuff. That's it. How you doing? Dinesh, is that your pronunciation name? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, so it's adding projects. My Unreal's live coding is compiling. Once it's done with that, I'm going to go ahead and reload everything here. And just for the time being, I'm going to be removing these things from here. There we go. So, okay, perfect. Okay, your PC specs. Honestly, I am using like an MSI's PC with an Intel Core. I think it's i9 and like 32 GB RAM. That said, I'm not actually using a graphics card because the graphics card that I am using is like integrated inside a motherboard, so I don't have like a specific graphic card. I should actually buy it, but it costs like $200, guys. Okay, that said, this is boss.c++. Let's go with something like Control-Alt-L, get my Solution Explorer here. Under my Unreal projects, I'm going to go to something like source, and then it's, there we go. Okay, I want to go ahead and get my enemy.c++ file as well. There we go. Okay, now I have my enemy.c++ file. I want to go ahead and implement collision to it, but let's see what to do to do that. So let's get my Unreal Engine up here. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and drag my class here. So I'm gonna C/C++ classes. Let's go ahead and drag my enemy class up here. Okay, can I see it? There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and extend my outliner, and under my details tab, I'm gonna click something like add and go with something like a static mesh. I want to go ahead and add a static mesh. Now inside my static mesh, I want to load a PNG. Let's go with something like, maybe something like a boss PNG. There we go. So now this boss's mesh is going to be my, let's go with something like W and get it a bit higher. There we go. Okay, now this boss's mesh right here is going to be my enemy, and my player's mesh is going to be, let's say something like a mage. But I want to go ahead and maybe decrease its size, get him to be a bit lower. So hold up, guys, let's go a bit lower. Okay, I want him to be a bit smaller, so I'm gonna go with something like W. Actually, let's go with R. And then let's go ahead and decrease its size. There, I think that's good. Now let's go with something like W and get him a little lower. There. Okay, guys, and I hope this is not actually lagging because I realized that my stream does lag when I actually use Unreal Engine for some reason. Okay, I think it's not lagging for the time being. There, that should be good, right? Okay, I think that's good. Now, once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go, let's say I want to go back to my C++ class or like my Visual Studio. Now, inside my Visual Studio, under my header files, I want to go ahead and do something. Let's say I want to go ahead and include maybe something like, I don't know, a few components, because I will be needing a box component for actually detecting if I collided with someone and all that stuff. So firstly, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say include something from my components. I'm gonna go with components. Okay, slash maybe box components. Okay, .h, which is box component and its header files. And then I'm gonna go ahead and include, let's say something like components. Okay, I want to go with components slash, I think I spelled components wrong. Hold up, guys. Okay, what was the next thing that I had to include? Components slash. Okay, I think I forgot that part. Maybe let's go with shift space. Okay, there's no enter lesson. That gets so annoying at times. Okay, so I need a box component. I might need to add something with engines. Let me go ahead and include something like engine slash engine types.h. Okay, I forgot what goes here. So I had to include box components. I had to include engines. What else do I need? So I need a collision box. I had to include primitive components. Okay, there we go, guys. Primitive component is basically a trigger. So like when primitive basically like a trigger when like one object collides with the other object. Let's go with something like primitive component. There we go, .h, which is primitive component and its header files. And is there anything else that I might need? I included box component, I included primitive components. Maybe I want to go ahead and include maybe something like components. Let's go with components slash static mesh component. Static mesh component is basically just like a static mesh that does not move at all. There we go, .h, which is static mesh component and its header files. Now, once I'm done including all this stuff, under my begin play, under my protected data type, as soon as my game begins, I want to go ahead and do something. Firstly, I want to go ahead and create a U property. Let's go with property. There we go, with the parentheses. Now, my U property is going to be saying that I want my, my mages mesh to be visible anywhere. So I'm going to go with something like, I actually would not need it because I already created a U static mesh. But I could say I want it to be visible anywhere. Let's go with something like visible anywhere. My boss's mesh is visible anywhere. And then I want my boss's mesh to be I want my blueprint to be able to read my boss's mesh. So I might go with something like blueprint read only. I think the print should be lowercase. There we go, blueprint read only. Okay, the third parameter is going to be a category. So I'm going to go with something like a category. I want to set it to be equal to something like maybe, I don't know, I'll go with something like boss. And then once I'm done creating a property, I want to go ahead and create a function as well that I will be using inside my C++'s file. So I'm going to go with something like a U function. I want to create a Unreal function. I think I spelled function wrong. There we go with the parentheses. Then I want to go ahead and create a white function, which is going to be called something like maybe collision. I don't know, guys. Thinking like different, like unique names is kind of that's I think the hardest part for me. That's it. Now for my collision, I'm going to be requiring a few parameters inside of my collision. For example, I need a collision when I need a component that actually detects when like one object overlapped or like collided with another object. That's where the primitive component that I loaded here comes in use. Did I spell something wrong? C-O-M-P-O-N-E-N-T-S. C-O-M-P-O. There we go. Okay, had a typo there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add a U primitive component. Okay, this is gonna be my U primitive component, and it is gonna be represented, or like it's gonna be requiring a parameter, or let's say something like overlap component. There we go. The second parameter is gonna be my other actor, not the current, not my boss mesh. In this case, it's gonna be my mage mesh. So I'm gonna go with something like a actor, okay, which is going to be represented by something like other actor. Let's go with other actor. And guys, I just recently learned this, so I'm not like able to phrase this part properly, like what am I actually doing type stuff. That said, once I'm done with a actor, I gotta go ahead and add another U primitive component because I want to actually detect another trigger. This time it's going to be for my mage's trigger. Like for a collision to happen, we must have two triggers for like one object and the other object. So I'm gonna go with U primitive component. So there we go. Okay, and then my U primitive component is going to be represented by other component. This is going to be like a different component, not the component that I actually have up here. And then let's say the third parameter. This is not like necessity, but I think adding it is like a good practice. This is going to be something like integer 32 of something like other body index. What this basically means is sometimes our meshes is not just one mesh. For example, a skeleton's mesh could have like arms, legs, bones, and all that stuff. Unlike the mesh that I have, this is just like one. This is just like it's one object that's actually I think it's just one mesh that just has like a texture just stuck upon it. Because guys, I'm not that good at using Blender. That said, once I'm done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say add another parameter. This is gonna be a Boolean parameter of something like from sweep. I'm assuming the from sweep basically means when a collision actually occurred. I gotta like fact check this part. This is going to be true when a collision happened and false when a collision didn't happen. I'm going to go ahead and maybe add another parameter after my from sweep. This is going to be a constant parameter of, okay, maybe before I go with something like from sweep, is there something else that I need to... Okay, maybe there's nothing else that I need. I might go with something like f hit result. And basically the f hit result that requires a memory address of let's say something like sweep result. This actually tells me if my if my boolean from sweep was either true or false. I gotta fact check that part though. Let's go with something like sweep result. And that's pretty much it for my function. I'm gonna go ahead and end this with a semicolon. And then let's see, is there anything else that I need? Maybe I want to go ahead and create a collision box as well, because my actual static, my mage's mesh, that would actually be having collision in it. I'm gonna create a separate box that is specifically meant for collision. So let's say I might go with something like a collision box. To create that, first I might add something like a U property. Okay, the properties for my collision box might just be visible only. I only want it to be visible, so I'm gonna go with visible anywhere. And then I'm gonna go ahead and create a U collision box. So let's go with something like U box collision. Okay, now my U box collision is gonna be represented by, let's say, did I spell it wrong? Okay, and I just realized one thing. I had to go with something like U static mesh component. Okay, which is going to be represented by something like pass mesh. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Now, here's the thing. Is it just my editor or just static mesh component? Okay, I did actually add everything good. U static mesh component, and this is U box collision. We're very sure my name is correct. Or is it supposed to be something like U collision box? Okay, where's the oats, bro? Honestly, guys, I'm not actually eating oats today. I'm eating some apples because I was like in the mood of eating something light. So I have like apples and bananas. Okay, let's go with something like collision. Actually, I feel oats is pretty light. Was I just lazy to make it? Let's go with something like U collision box. Okay, let's go with interlessons. Let's go with something like box. Okay, U box component. There we go. Now, box components. There we go. Now my box component is going to be represented by something like a collision box. Let's go with collision box. Guys, I sometimes just like love interlessons because like it just gives us the function names. Now once I'm done with that, I'm going to hit Ctrl S to save the code and move on to my C++ file. Inside my C++ file, I'm going to go ahead and let's say include something like components slash I might go with something like box component because I will be using and modifying a box component here to check if a collision happens or happens not. Let's go with something like components. Okay, and then I'm going to go with .h, which is box components as header files. Now, once I'm done with that, inside my constructor, I want to go ahead and do something. Firstly, I might actually not want to create a U static mesh component because what am I going to do with my boss's mesh here? So this is already loaded inside my window. I don't have cameras or anything. So use static mesh components. Maybe I don't add this for the time being, but what I really do want to work on is going to be I want to create, let's say, a default sub object for my collision box. So I'm going to go with something like collision box. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and set that equal to create default sub object. Let's go with something like sub object. Okay, now my default sub object is going to be equal to, let's say, actually not equal to, it's going to be having a pair of ankle braces. I want to go ahead and add here something like my box components. Okay, so I want to create a default sub object for my boxes components. components slash, okay, components slash box component. Let's remove the S from there. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to go with the parentheses, component. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to be adding a texture. My text is going to be called something like collision box. Collision box. And I think I spelled it wrong here. Let's go with something like box component. Okay, perfect. Very sure I spelled that correct now. Okay, was it actually called? It's called U box component. My bad, guys. There we go. Unreal's is box component. Now I'm going to go ahead and end this with a semicolon. And then next up, once I'm done creating a collision box, I want to add a few collision checks as well. Now, here's the thing. I could go ahead and easily do that using my Unreal project. Like, I could go with add and then go with something like box collision. I could go ahead and manually add a box collision. But that part is kind of easy. I would like eventually do that to like save that. But for now, for practice, I do want to do it using code. So I'm going to go ahead and add a collision box and point it towards something. Let's say I want to go ahead and I want to set a root component for it, because basically what a root component does is it like helps me move, turn, or scale my object or whatever thing I actually want to move, turn, or scale. So I'm gonna go with something like setup attachment. Okay, I want to set up a root components as attachment. Okay, and then I go ahead and end this with a semicolon. And then once I'm done setting a root component, I want to go ahead and point my collision box's pointer towards, let's say something like, maybe let's say something like set collision enables this function. Okay, this actually enables my collision, or it does not like specifically enable my collision. I'm gonna go with something like collision enabled. I'm gonna show you guys in a bit what this actually means here. Okay, collision enable. I think I spelled enable wrong. There we go. I'm gonna be adding a scope resolution operator and setting it to query only. Okay, perfect. And then I go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Now, basically what this actually means, if I were to go to my Unreal Engine, technically what I was actually doing is, once I add a box component, let me go with something like box component. So there we go. Actually, box collision. Okay, for instance, I added a box collision here. Then now, inside my, let's scroll all the way up here. There we go. Inside my section right here, I could go ahead and type something like collision. Okay. And then let's say, under my collision presets, I could go ahead and set this to be custom and my collision enabled. This is the part that I was actually adding. So under my collision enabled right here, there's query only. I could do it this way as well. But I feel, again, this way is kind of easy and I already know how to do it. So I do want to learn the coding way as well. So just for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and delete my collision box. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and open my Unreal Engine. Now, once I'm done setting my collision to be enabled, I'm going to go ahead and add something like collision box again. Now, inside my collision box, I'm going to point it towards something like set, let's see, set collision. Let's say something like set collision response to all channels, RESPONSE to all channels. Okay, and again, we could do this exact same thing from the editor, but I feel like I know how to do it from there, so I am doing it using the code type stuff. This is going to be requiring a parameter of something like ECR underscore overlap. Let's go with something like overlap, ending with a semicolon. Okay, are you making like a mini game? Honestly, today I am like working on game logic, so I was like making like a mini game to actually get everything that I've learned up till so far and like add it in one project. And then I'm going to be moving on to like the next concept, which might be something like UMT or like displaying UI on my window type stuff. But before I actually go to a new topic, I do like adding a game logic system where I do like work on all the content that I've learned so far. That said, next up, I'm going to go ahead and set my collision box to be pointing towards, I don't know, maybe generate, okay, maybe I kind of got this part. Let's go with something like generate. Okay, let's go with something like generate overlap. Okay, set generate overlap events. Was it this? Okay, does this require parameter of true? Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Now, here's the thing. It requires set generate overlap events. There we go. Okay, so this is pretty much it for like my collisions. I've set my collision enabled to query only. I set my channel responses to be ECR overlap. And generate overlap events is true. Let me actually show you guys what the generate overlap events does. Hi, Lawrence. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, basically, I can get my generate overlap events exactly the same way if I go to something like collision here. Okay, and then there's an option of generate overlap events, which is set to true for my static mesh here, because like, the meshes that we load, they already have collision in them, and they already have my generate overlap event set to true, but not for my collision box. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this for the time being. Get this a bit lower. There we go. Okay, now, once I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and do something else. Is there anything else that I want to add here after my collision box? Maybe I want to go ahead and add something for my boss's mesh. So I'm going to set my boss mesh to be equal to, let's say, something like create a default sub-object. I'm going to go with something like sub-object with a pair of ankle braces, which consists of something like a use static mesh component. And I'll tell you guys in a bit why I'm actually adding this part here, even though I already have my boss's mesh in my Unreal Engine. There we go. Use static mesh component. I want to add a text that says something like boss mesh. Let's go with something like boss mesh. And then I end this with a semicolon. Now, the reason I actually created default sub object is because my boss does not have a root component just yet. Again, I could do this like real easily if I like open my boss's mesh in my blueprints tab and set a capsule, set a root component to it. Use Visual Studio 2026 is way faster and has better Unreal into lessons. I actually wanted to do that. I did not have the time, but I might actually try that after the stream. Okay, guys, I forgot where I was. Okay, where are you from? Actually, I did stop answering that these days. That said, I'm gonna go ahead and set root component. Although, what is like the Unreal? What you may call it? What is the Visual Studio 2026 about? Is it like the same as 2022, or like does it have new functionalities or something like that? Okay, because the day it came out, I wanted to actually try, but I didn't actually try it. I've been holding myself back because I thought it's gonna be almost the same. That's it. Maybe I eat some apples. Okay, now the reason I actually did not use setup attachment. What up, guys? Okay, now the reason I did not use like a setup attachment like how I used it up here is because this is an actor class, and actor class does not specifically need a setup attachment, so I just set my root component to be equal to my boss mesh so I can be able to move it, scale it, or rotate it type stuff. Without a root component, I won't be able to do either of them to my mesh on my window. Okay, and that's like pretty much it. Now, once I'm done with this, let's go all the way under my begin play. In my begin play, I gotta go ahead and do something. So, let's see. I actually forgot what I wanted to do here. Yes, it has a new UI, faster and better Copilot support. Actually, I don't use Copilot like with... Oops, guys. I just drooled all over my keyboard. There we go. I don't actually use Copilot in like Unreal. I do use ChatGPT to like learn stuff, but I did like remove all the AI from like my Visual Studio because I felt like when I try to like actually type something, it just gives me the entire code. So I just gotta hit tab and the code automatically pastes stuff. Okay, that's let's see. Now, in my super begin play, I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Let's say, okay, I might need something like a... This is my enemies as class, so I'm gonna go with something like enemy, which is gonna be pointing towards... I might have forgotten this part. Let me think. I had to go with something like dynamic, or add dynamic, and then add this collision. Alright, guys, let me think this part fully quick. Okay, I might go with something like collision box instead. I'm gonna go with something like my collision box. I wanna point it towards... Let's go with something like into lessons. I think it was something like 2, so... Okay. Am I missing something here? Okay, I actually forgot what goes in this part. Maybe I go with something like Control-Alt-L get Solution Explorer. I might open my 0 HP's C++ file, because I honestly just forgot the function name that goes here. Okay, it's on component begin overlap. There we go, that's the thing that I forgot. Okay, wait. Enemy.c++. Where did I get the 0 HP from? Okay, I'm gonna go with something like on collision. I want to begin overlap. Use C#. Actually, I learned C++, but I might actually learn C# as well. Okay, what's your views on Age of Hearth? Honestly, I haven't like thought about that. Is this the previous Dragon and Bone collision work now? Honestly, guys, I feel like it is kind of fun because I just learned collision recently, like 2 or 3 days ago. Okay, why do you call ChatGPT Sensei? Do you use other AIs? Honestly, I just mostly use... Actually, I think I just use ChatGPT, and the reason I call it Sensei is like... I feel like I use ChatGPT to learn like a lot of different things, and like in Japanese, or like, yeah, in Japanese, Sensei is like teacher type stuff. That said, I thought it'd be kind of fun for like the streaming content as well. Although I have been using ChatGPT and calling ChatGPT Sensei for like a long time before I even started my streaming type stuff. That's it. Let's go with something like on collision, begin overlap. Let's go with something like begin overlap. There we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use the dot add dynamics as function. I'm gonna add dynamic. Okay, on collision, begin overlap. Did I spell something wrong here? Let me go ahead and remove that. Go with shift space, add into lessons. On collision. Okay, let's go with something like on Or I might go with something like begin overlap. Okay, on component, begin overlap. Was it component? I think it was component. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add something like the dots add dynamic. Okay, is this function? Excuse me guys, now my add dynamics function is going to be requiring two parameters. First is going to be this, which is my actual enemies as object. Second is going to be from my, let's say, a enemy class. Let's go with something like, whoops, a enemy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call in my collisions as function. Okay, perfect. Then I go ahead and end this with a semicolon. GPT personalization settings review when? Guys, I feel GPT personalization settings review is kind of crazy because like I feel what you would call it, ChatGPT needs some privacy in the personalization settings. Actually, it's not like privacy, I just say that like for fun, but I did like add some what you would call it, some funny content that might actually do that. Maybe like in 100,000 subscribers, I might actually review my ChatGPT prompt, guys. Okay, that said, can we see a demo of the game so far? Honestly, if I were to hit Control S, I don't think there's like much demo because like I still need to add like the attributes or like the content for my for my enemy class. Actually, yeah, for my enemies class that I'm almost done with, and then my players class as well to actually detect collision. Because for collision, we need two objects or like two meshes or like I think two components. I just have one so far because I just started like 32 minutes ago. Okay, you can also use Visual Assist extension for free. It has better Unreal Engine lessons than Visual Studio. I see, I might actually try that in that case. Okay, that's it. Now, once I'm done with my begin play, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say, do I need anything else? Maybe not. I think this is pretty much it for my collision. So, I'm gonna go to my Unreal Engine, hit something like Control-Alt-F11 to patch my code up. While my code is patching, let's go all the way here. Let's make this a bit big because I'm gonna be seeing my box collision now. Okay, it said live coding failed. Let's check why. So, does it point towards something? The dot add dynamic is wrong. Okay, I knew that the function name was not kind of correct. On component, begin overlap. Let's go with something like Control-Alt-L, open my 0HPs file real quick. Okay, because I think I messed up the function name on component, begin overlap. There we go. The place that I messed up was I had to add like an ampersand or like an address of operator here because I need to give the address of my collision, not like a copy of it. That's it. Let's go back to my Unreal Engine, hit something like Control-Alt-F11 again. Okay, let's wait for the live coding. There we go. Fail to link patch extension. Okay, fail to link patch, exit code. It said results succeeded. Why did it fail to link patch in that case? Maybe, let me go all the way in front. Could it be because I loaded my image in here first or like my static mesh first? I mean, I don't think that would be like a big of a problem. Let's go with Control-Alt-L again. Okay, open my 0HP. Is there some kind of code that I missed adding? Okay, that is the C++. Oh yeah, I actually forgot to invoke my function. Okay, I knew that there was something missing. Okay, to invoke my function, I'm gonna go under my begin play. I'm gonna go with my enemy class and call the collisions function. Now, I'm gonna be adding all the parameters from here. I could like go ahead and like copy paste these, but I wanna go ahead and type those. So, I'm gonna go with something like uPrimitive component. Okay, there we go. I'm going to point it towards overlap component. Let's go with something like overlap component. Okay, then I'm going to go with a comma. The second is going to be something like a actor, which is going to be my other component. The third is going to be again a primitive component. Primitive component. Okay, which is going to be pointing towards something like the other component. Okay, the third parameter, this is not going to be necessary. Let me just copy that and fix my typo. And guys, ignore the red underlines, which we call it. The Visual Studio just sometimes messes up by actually adding these red underlines here. That's it. UPRIMITIVECOMPONENT. There we go, it's correct. And then other component. Okay, perfect. After I'm done with that, I'm going to go with something like a integer 32 because I want it to be 32-bit. This part is not necessary, but in case my mesh has different body parts, for example, bones, arms, legs, skin, and all that stuff, we add this. I'm going to go ahead and add something like other body index because we do got to keep a track of all the body parts and check which touches us. Let's go with something like index. Okay, then I'm going to go with a comma. Guys, why is this a red underline? I know Unreal just does this. Let's go with other component. Okay, lastly, the third parameter is going to be, let's say something like a boolean. So I'm going to go with something like a boolean from sweep. Okay, the last final parameter is going to be a constant parameter. This is going to be like lowercase. I'm going to go with something like constant. And then let's say I want to go ahead and add something like f hit result. Okay, this requires the memory address of my sweep result. So whether or not my sweep was true or false. Okay, perfect. And then once I'm done with this, I'm going to go with the prof clearly braces. And I still don't understand why I get a red underline here. I think I spelled everything correct. And guys, ignore like all these red underlines. Okay, let's see. So, you primitive component, other component. Okay, this is correct. Okay, it's not because I forgot a white here. There we go. Now it's an actual function. Okay, perfect. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go all the way under this. Wait for the red underline to go. Guys, it sometimes gets like really annoying seeing my Unreal Engine actually have these red underlines up here. That said, once I'm done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Let's say I'm gonna add a if statement here to check something. I'm gonna go ahead and check if my other component, let's say if my other component, this is gonna be other actor. Okay, no wonder I had the red underline. I had two same parameter names. Okay, let's say something like if my other component and my other component, okay, is not equal to this. This basically means if I did not actually overlap with myself, I don't know how that happened, but if I somehow managed to, my bad guys, this is going to be actor. Let's go with actor. Okay, so if my actor somehow managed to overlap with herself, I don't want to actually count that. Okay, do you need to make your own assets or do you use AI generated assets? Honestly, I do make them using Blender. Okay, actor needs other actor, I think. Yeah, actually that does make sense. Okay, I had like a typo up there. That said, once I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and add a UE underscore log. UE log is basically like a standard console output if you guys are familiar with like C++, and it's like a print statement if you guys are familiar with Python. So I'm going to go ahead and add a UE log. This is basically, it displays whatever I typed here in my Unreal Engine's output log right here once a collision happens. So I'm going to go ahead and let's say set my category to be something like log temp. Let's see the parameters that it requires. So it requires a category name, a verbosity, a format string. My category is going to be log temp. My verbosity is going to be warning. Verbosity is basically what kind of message do I want to send? Do I want to send a error text that is going to be displayed in red? Do I want to send a warning text which is going to be displayed in yellow? Or do I want to send a default text that's going to be displayed in white? I'm going to go with a warning text. And then let's add something like a texture. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let's say I might actually add a format string. This is going to be something like you have collided. Let's go with something like you have collided. Okay, perfect. And then I go ahead and just end this with a semicolon. And now that's pretty much it. Let's hit something like Control S here. Let's go to my Unreal Engine. Hello again, how are you doing? Lil Z, I appreciate you joining the stream. I can't believe you're still grinding. What a machine. Guys, that actually does sound kind of cool. Okay, raw drawing code in 2025 is crazy. I mean, that does make sense, but I feel like I am doing this because I do enjoy coding type stuff. Let's hit Control Alt F11 to compile my code real quick. Okay, it says result successfully patched. I'm gonna go ahead and exit this. Now, if I look carefully here, I actually got my collision box. So let me go under my enemy. It created a collision box for me and it created a boss's mesh for me. Okay, let's scroll down real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my collision box here. And I want to change its position. This is where the root component comes in action, because without the root component, I wouldn't be able to do all the stuff that I'm doing here. Oops, let's go all the way up here. Maybe close this from here real quick. Now, I want to go ahead and get this a bit back, and then I'm going to hit something like R. Maybe I want to decrease the size from here. Okay. And then maybe hit something like W and get myself a bit there. Hit something like R. Extend the size a little, maybe decrease it 1, hit W, get myself here, hit R again. I want to decrease it from the back. Okay, and then maybe increase it a little bit from here. Hit something like W, go there. There we go. Now that's perfect. Okay, what do you do for your hobby, mate? I think I just like programming, guys. Maybe I do like watching animes as well. Like, I mean, I feel like I just like to write code because it feels kind of fun to actually write it. Okay, perfect. Is this, guys, is it just me or it's my mesh is not actually inside my box? Okay, maybe I go ahead and hit R. I want to increase it a bit from the top. Whoops. Let's hit Control Z. I want to go with my collision box. There we go. Let's hit something like R. Okay, perfect. That should be good. There we go. Now my actual object is inside my collisions box. Perfect. Okay, how do you not lose your voice from speaking too long? I used to lose my voice back when I used to like when I started streaming, because whatchamacallit, I used to not talk much. Like initially I've never spoken as much as I speak like on stream, so I used to be quiet the entire day and only talk when I had my streams. Now I think I just got used to it. Okay, now once I'm done with this, I'm done creating an enemy class. I want to go ahead and let's say, guys, something is wrong with that mouse. I think the battery is almost out. I changed the battery like the before yesterday, guys. Hold up, maybe let me go ahead and like replace my batteries real quick. Okay, I gotta actually find like a wireless mouse. I mean like a wired mouse, because like I hate when the battery just runs off the mouse. Hold up, guys, give me a sec. Let's just open my battery. Then go ahead and add this and that. Okay, perfect. Alright, guys, this should work. Guys, these were the last of my batteries. Gotta go and get some more batteries. There we go. Finally, it works perfectly. Okay, now that I created one class, I'm gonna go ahead and create another class because I do need two components. The second class is gonna be my player class, which in this case, it is gonna be a character. I'm gonna call this something like mage. Let's go with something like mage. Okay, perfect. Okay, do you feel like you don't have time to do anything else? I mean, it's not like you don't have time to do anything else. Like, I don't feel like doing anything else. Like, I feel almost everything except watching animes or like, coding is kind of boring. Maybe even like playing games once in a while, because I do like play. I used to play a lot of games, but then I did like stop it a bit. But I still feel I do enjoy playing some games. Okay, now I have my mages class and my C++. Actually, I have my mages header files and my C++ files. Bro, you're hardworking and committed. Honestly, it does mean the world to me, Devil, guys. That actually does sound kind of cool. Okay, that's it now. Inside my mages header files, let's see what do I want to do. Firstly, this is going to be my player, so I need to see a few things that I might need for it. I might need a camera for it to be able to like view my perspective from my player and also like key controls. First thing, I might actually add a camera for myself. So I'm gonna go ahead and include, let's say I want to include something from my camera. So I'm gonna go with something like camera / camera component. Okay, .h, which is camera and camera components is header files. And then I might need a spring arm for my camera boom as well, which if you guys are like familiar with like the film industry and everything, it's basically a big selfie stick where the camera is stuck on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that as well. Let's go ahead and include something from my game framework. So I'm gonna go with framework. And guys, this is like, did I spell it correct? Game framework, FRAMEWORK. There we go. Okay, from my game framework, I want to go ahead and include a spring arm component, which is basically a selfie stick. Okay, .h, which is its header files. Now, here's the thing. Instead of doing this in code, I could go to my Unreal Engine, go to a Blueprint tab, and actually add them inside my Unreal Engine. But I am just doing it from code because I already know how to do it off code. If you want to place the box collision component precise, open the actor, then switch perspective, and then adjust the collision mesh. I didn't actually know about that. If you want to place the box collision component precise, open the actor, then switch perspective, and then adjust the collision mesh. I might actually look into that. That sounds actually pretty good. Okay, but before that, I want to go ahead and check if my collision logic is correct. So I'm going to go with something like include. Let's say I want to go ahead and include, I included camera and camera component. I included framework. I want to go ahead and include something from, let's say, something from my components. I'm going to go with components. I'll go with something like component / static mesh component. Let's go with a static mesh component. Okay, perfect. .h, which is static mesh component and its header files. Now, once I'm done including everything that I might need, I'm gonna go under my begin play. Once my game has begun, I'm gonna do something. I wanna go ahead and add a comment that says something like move, turn, and rotate. Let's go with something like turn and rotate function. So I'm gonna be creating about 5 functions here. Let's go with something like move, turn, and rotate, R-O-T-A-T-E functions. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start off by creating a void function called something like move forward. Let's go with something like move forward. So, okay, which is going to be requiring a parameter of a floating point value, ending with a semicolon. The second parameter is going to be something like move right with a parentheses that requires a floating point parameter of value as well. And guys, I'll tell you guys in a bit why I'm actually keeping the function names exactly like this. Although, give me a sec, let me just write this first. And then I'm going to go with something like a move turns this function that requires a floating point parameter again of value, ending with a semicolon. Lastly, I'm going to go with another void method called something like lookup, okay, which requires a floating point parameter of value as well. Okay, basically what these functions are. Let's give it a minute for my editor to actually process that these are functions. Okay, that said, the reason I am adding this function, my move forwards this function is going to be in charge of making me move forwards and backwards. The move rights this function is going to be in charge of me moving left and right. The turns function is going to be in charge of me rotating depending on where I move my mouse in my x-axis. The lookup is going to be in charge of me looking up and down depending on where I move my mouse in the y-axis. Okay, you Houdini? You use Houdini? Honestly, I haven't heard of that. What's it about? Be careful with the tick functions / events code, only the important and critical sections there. Actually, it does make sense. Okay, that's it. Now, basically why I kept these exact names for these functions is you guys could like have different names, but if I open my Unreal Engine, go to my project settings, scroll down till I find something like input. In my input, I do have a bunch of axis mappings that I did create it. I could like delete everything here. I can create it all over again. So I'm gonna go ahead and click the plus for my axis mapping. Now I'm gonna go ahead and let's say create a new axis. I'm gonna name this move forward. This needs to be the exact same name as my functions because I will be using axis binding for this. I mean, it does not like compulsory have to be the exact same name as my function, but it makes it much easier later on in the future to bind stuff and know which function goes with which axis mapping or action mapping. F-O-R, did I spell it correct? F-O-R-W-A-R-D, that's move forward. Then I'm gonna go ahead and click this plus here. Okay, I'm gonna go with something like W and S. W is to move positive centimeters forward. S is gonna move me in a negative direction. Then I'm gonna go ahead and click plus. Go with something like a move right. I want to move towards the right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add a plus here. I'm gonna go with something like A to move towards the left, D to move towards the right, and this is gonna be a negative position. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add another plus and change this to something like turn. Now, for my turn, I won't be using key presses. In the other hand, I will be using buttons. So I'm going to search for something like mouse's x-axis. Depending on my mouse's x-axis, I want to move left or right. Then I'm going to go with a plus and then change this to something like a lookup method. For my lookup, it's going to be exactly the same as mouse. But this time, I'm going to add mouse's y-axis depending on depending on how I move my mouse in the y-axis, forwards or backwards type stuff. Okay, let me know when you're looking for a job in the sector or if you find any challenging task. All the best, never lose this PS. That actually means the world to me. I appreciate it, Devin. I'll definitely let you know. That's pretty much it for these functions. Now, once I'm done with this, let's see, is there anything else that I want to create? I might want to add a comment that says camera boom because I want to create a camera boom and a follow camera here as well. So I'm going to go with camera boom. Fasten, think you're special, but always try to learn new things and be happy. That actually means the world to me. I appreciate you, Devin. Okay, so for my camera boom, let's say I want to go ahead and maybe create a U property. I'm going to go with something like a U property. I want my camera to firstly be visible anywhere, so I'm going to go with something like visible. Okay, let's go with something like visible anywhere. Next up, I want my camera to, let's say, I want my blueprint to be able to read my camera, so I'm gonna go with something like blueprint read only. Let's go with something like blueprint read only. Let's go with read only. Okay, so there we go. And then once I'm done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and set a category for my camera to be equal to something like camera. This is gonna be under my cameras section. And again, I don't think I'm gonna end this with a semicolon, but I will be creating something like a use spring arm component, because basically camera boom is like a selfie stick. That is my spring arm. So I'm gonna go with something like a use spring arm component. Okay, which is going to be pointing towards, let's say, something like camera boom. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and end this with a semicolon. And then let's go ahead and add a follow cameras comment. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, bro, I'm so lazy, but I really should be studying. It's one of those things where I didn't study. It's one of those things where the more I didn't study, the less I want to study, guys. And actually, it does make sense. Although I feel like it's just hard when we first start, because if we start doing the things that we don't like to do, eventually it becomes like a habit to do that stuff. But I do understand that, guys. I feel like I'm like really, really lazy. Why do you use camel case? Honestly, because I feel they use camel case in like C++. Wow, cool tips. Okay, next up, I'm gonna go with something like uProperty. There we go. Now, for my uProperty, firstly, I want my follow camera, which is going to be my actual camera's component. That is going to be following my spring arm. That's why I named it follow camera. I'm gonna be setting it to be something like visible anywhere. I want it to be visible anywhere. I want it to be blueprint read only. Let's go with something like blueprint read only. I want my blueprint to have access to this. And then for my category, I'm gonna set it to be something like camera. I want both my spring arm and my camera component to be in the same category. Okay, when you start looking for a job development sector, let me know. Or if you find something tough and challenging, ping me. Let's work on it together. Happy to see someone like this and happy to help you. Honestly, it does mean the world to me. That's it. I could definitely mention you like on my Discord server if I'm ever looking for one. That's your still adding player movement code. I guess you like to write the same code for movement from start every time. Honestly, I do like write it for practice type stuff. That's it. I'm gonna go with something like camera components. Let's go with something like components. Okay, which is going to be a pointer, which is going to be represented by something like a follow camera as a pointer. Okay, then end this with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done with these, I'm pretty sure I don't need anything else. I'm going to move to my mage.c++ file. Inside my mage.c++, actually inside my mage.c++ file, I'm going to go ahead and create my actual objects that I want to be shown in my Unreal Engine inside of my, let's say, constructor. So I'm gonna go ahead and create something for my, let's say, camera boom. So I'm gonna create a default sub object. Let's go with create default sub object for my camera boom. I'm gonna go with a pair of ankle braces. Now I'm gonna be adding a use spring arm component in the pair of curly braces. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with the pair of parentheses, add a text here. For my text, let's say I want to call it something like camera boom. There we go. Okay, and then I go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Now, for my camera boom, since this is a character and I do want to actually move it, scale it, or rotate it around, I'm going to set up a root attachment or like a root component to it. So I'm going to go with something like camera boom. So I'm going to be pointing it towards something like setup attachment. Okay, I want to set up an attachment, which is going to be called something like root component. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and end this with a semicolon. And then once I'm done setting up an attachment, is there anything else that I might need? Let's think. Maybe since this is like a selfie stick, I do want to like, because we don't like hold the selfie stick right in front of our face, I would have added target arm length, but maybe I want it to be like first person instead of, I think third person is good. Okay, let's go with something like camera boom. I'm going to point it towards something like a target arm length. This is basically how far or like how long is my camera boom, how far is it from my actual component or my actual mage's mesh. So I'm going to set it to be something like 7, maybe something like 800.0f, which is basically 800 centimeters away from my mesh. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and add another camera component. What game are you making? Honestly, I'm like working on a really basic game logic right now, and I'm trying to like work on something that requires collision, requires movement, requires me rotating my player or like moving my player using key components type stuff. That's it. Once I am done with this, next stream I might go over like UMGs and like basic UIs that I display on my window, for example. Or maybe before that, I might actually go with something like mouse collision. Like every time I hit my character, a collision happens. Or every time I hit a specific object in my Unreal Engine, I want a collision to occur type stuff. That said, I'm going to go ahead and point my camera, boom, to something like, let's say, B, blueprint use pawn control rotation to be equal to true, because I want my blueprint to be able to control my rotation for my actual spring arm component. Now, once I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and create another default subcomponent for my follow camera. So I'm going to go with follow camera and set that equal to, let's go with something like create default sub object. Okay, with a pair of ankle braces, I'm going to go ahead and call this something like Q camera component. Okay, with a pair of parentheses that requires a text, I'm going to call this something like my follow camera. Okay, perfect. Then I go ahead and end this with a semicolon. And while I'm at that, I'll go ahead and fix my typo as well. Let's copy that, paste it here. There we go. Okay, shooting or story game. I feel like it's more like a shooting one because I will be like try colliding with them. But later on, I do want to add like collision events as well. There we go. So I'm going to be adding a root component to it as well. And then let's say I want to go ahead and set something like blueprint use pawn control rotation. So I'm going to go with something like follow camera. I'm going to point it towards something like be used pawn control rotation to be equal to false. Let's go with something like false, ending with a semicolon. Basically what this means, let's just go ahead and copy that to fix my typo. Basically what this means is I do not want my follow camera to be able to move using my blueprint. I want my spring arm to move. Okay, and that's like very much it for everything that I want to create inside my constructor. Then I won't be needing anything inside my begin play, but I will be needing a few functions after my game has begun. So outside of my begin play, I'm going to go with something like a void function of, let's say, let's go with something like a mage, my mage's class. I'm going to point towards my move forwards as method, because I do just have like blank methods inside of my header files without anything being inside them type stuff. I want to add content to them. My move forward method requires a floating point parameter of value. Then I go with the pair of curly braces. Now, under my move forward, move F-O-R-W-A-R-T, I think I spelled it correct. I'm going to go ahead and add a player input movement. Let's go with add player input movement. Okay, I think I spelled something wrong here, guys. It's add movement input. There we go. I'm going to use the add movement inputs function, which requires two parameters. First is going to be a world direction, which way my player is currently facing. Second is scale, which is going to be a values parameter here. Make it RTX enabled also. Honestly, what does that actually mean? I haven't like heard of RTX enabled. I've heard there's something called the RTX's graphics card or something like that, but I haven't like actually heard that. Okay, I don't think, is that like an option inside my Unreal? I might have to look into that. That said, I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Go ahead and use the get actor. Let's say forward vector. This gets my actors as forward vector. It means it gets the place that my actor is actually facing. Is it frontwards or is it backwards? Is it towards the east or the west? Is that east and is that west? Guys, I'm bad with my direction and geometry. That said, next up I'm going to go ahead and require a scales as parameter of my value, ending with a semicolon. That's pretty much it. Okay, he's a long way from even making a small game. Let him learn basics first. It actually does make sense. Okay, that's it. Next up, I'm going to go with something like a mage. Let's go with something like mage, which is going to be pointing towards, let's say, the move rights method this time. That requires a floating point parameter of something like value. Then I go with the pair of curly braces. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the add movement input this function which requires a parameter of something like get actor forward vector. Okay, perfect. Then I go with the parentheses, and then I require floating points. I require my value parameter, which is my scales value. And then the third function that I created was a turn function. So I'm gonna go with something like white turn. Hiding Arkish, hiding pixels. I appreciate you guys joining the stream. Yeah, I'm gonna go with something like turn, but I'm gonna go with something like a mage turn. Okay, which requires a floating point parameter of value. And now for turning, since I don't have key controls, I wouldn't actually want to get my actual direction. Instead, I'm gonna be using the add controller. Let's go with controller. Okay, add controller input. So I'm gonna be adding a controller input because I am gonna be controlling this with my mouse and not my keyboard. Then I'm gonna go with the parentheses. So add controller. It's gonna be the yaw input because yaw input is basically in charge of rotating in the x-axis. Pitch input is in charge of rotating in the y-axis. So I'm going to require a parameter of my value here, ending with a semicolon. And then lastly, I'm going to go ahead and create another void method from my mage. So this is going to be called the lookup method with a pair of parentheses that requires a floating point parameter of value. Then I go with a pair of curly braces. Now I'm going to go ahead and use the add controller. Okay, let's go with add controller pitch input this time. Basically, pitch input is in charge of me moving my players' rotation in the y-axis. I think I spelled it wrong. Let's just copy my yaw input, paste it here. Oh wait, never mind, I spelled my lookup wrong. Let's change that to something like pitch input. Okay, which requires a parameter of my value, ending with a semicolon. Value. Okay, perfect. That's pretty much it for my functions. Now, once I'm done with all that, I'm gonna go, I've got to like actually bind my axis mapping that I created right here with my actual functions that I have here. So it's like basically two separate wires that I gotta like connect with each other. So both my Unreal and Visual Studio have access to each other's attributes slash properties. To do that, I'm gonna go ahead and add a comment that says something like axis binding. This is honestly pretty easy. I'm gonna go ahead and use my player input component. Let's go with player input component, which is basically the same spelling as here. I'm gonna go ahead and set it to be something. Let's go with player input component. Is going to be pointing towards, because this is like a pointer, my U input component. I'm going to be pointing it towards something like the bind axis. Let's go with bind axis with a pair of parentheses. Let's say I want to bind something. I want to bind my move forward. The first parameter is going to be an axis name. Okay, and this is where I got to use the exact same spelling as my move forward up here, move right up here, turn, and look up. I cannot mess up these spellings because I do need my axis, my exact axis name. Second parameter is going to be an object. Who do I want to actually move? I want to move this object, which in this case is my mage's object. The third parameter is going to be a function. What do I want to do with the function once this button in my keyboard has been pressed? I want to go ahead and use the mage's class, and then I'll go with something like the move forwards function. Okay, so I want to go ahead and move him forward depending on my scale. And that's very much it for my move forwards binding axis. So one wire is connected, 3 more wires to go. Next up, I'm going to go with something like player input components. Okay, I'm going to try connecting my second wire. I'm going to go with something like bind axis. Let's go with something like axis. So there we go. With a pair of parentheses. This is going to be the wire for my move right. And guys, wire is just like a metaphor. Is that what we call it? Like a metaphor that I created for this? Wait, I think it was like a different name for it. I don't think it was a metaphor. It's not a hyperbole. Guys, I forgot. I gotta like go to my. I think I gotta go to my English lectures again. I'm like kind of awful at like picking up words. That's it. Let's go with something like image. What was it called? It wasn't called metaphor. There's simile. There's metaphor. There's onomatopoeia. There's. I think it's a hyperbole. No, I think hyperbole is exaggeration. Never mind, guys. Let's go and move right. I think I'm going to just look it up later on because I wanted to use the correct word. I think it should be like a metaphor. Like instead of actually saying that I'm binding axis, I say that I'm connecting wires. Okay, maybe I'm going to remember it later on. That's the next step. Let's go with something like player input components. So there we go. which points towards, let's say something like bind axis. I'm gonna connect my third wire. This is gonna be for my turn. I'm gonna say I wanna turn this object, and my function is gonna be from my image. I'm gonna call it something like turn, ending with a semicolon. Lastly, for my fourth wire, I'm gonna go with something like player input component. Let's go with something like input component. Okay, which is going to be pointing towards bind axis. I'm going to go with something like bind axis. Okay, for parentheses, let's go with something like lookup. So, alright guys, there we go. Let's go with something like lookup. I want to go ahead and implement this function on this object, and then I'm going to go with something like mage and the lookups function, ending with a semicolon. And now that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and hit Control S in my C++ file, hit Control S in my header file, open my Unreal Engine here, go to my new map. Now, if I hit Control Alt F11 to compile my code while it's compiling, I might eat an apple. Okay, I see you. Let's see exactly. So, while tracing variable specifiers in member variable declaration in image, result failed. Oh, I see. Okay, let's go and exit that. I had a typo. There we go. I gotta go ahead and set this to be equal to. I set that to be a hyphen. Let's hit Control S to save the code again. Go with Control Alt F11 to patch my code. Guys, I gotta like work on my typos. That's the problem that comes with manually typing the code, but I feel like manually typing the code is like really fun. There we go, we got another error. Okay, it's not about having the same names up here. Both is pointers. I'm gonna go all the way up here. Component COMPONENTS. Oh, I see. I gotta go ahead and add the memory address. So let's go with the address of operator of all my functions here, because right now I give their copies and not the actual functions. I keep forgetting this part, but this part is pretty important. Let's go with something like address of operator. Hit Control S, and guys, that's the reason I got 4 different errors here. I don't think it was here. I think like it was somewhere here. There we go. That's the reason I got like a bunch of errors up here, because I was like giving a copy. Now let's go ahead and exit this. Let's hit something like Control Alt F11. This should work. Okay, let's patch it. There we go. Result succeeded. Successfully linked. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and exit this. Let's drag this up here. Okay, let's go to my content drawer and then drop my heroes' class. There we go. Let's drop my mage's class, which is technically my hero. And with the class, if you guys notice, I do actually get my camera as well. So this is my camera. That is my spring arm. If I were to go ahead and zoom out on this, this is the stuff that I added through code. We could easily do it using blueprints, but I feel like I know how to do it using blueprints. So this part might be kind of fun. Now I see through my camera's perspective. All I want to do is add a static mesh component. So I have a mesh here. Let's go all the way down. Let's say I want to add a mesh. So there's tutorial. I mean, I want to add my own mesh that I created. So I'm going to go with something like mesh. Oops, a static mesh. Let's go with static mesh. Okay, I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it as static mesh. And then let's scroll all the way down. This is going to be something like my mage. Okay, I don't see my mage here. Most likely because I got to add it here. There we go. Let's go with something like mage. Let's go ahead and paste it here. Now, I want to get my mage's position a bit back. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click my static mesh, go with something like W. Okay, I want to see from my mage's point of view. Now, I want to go ahead and go a bit up. I mean, it's gonna be kind of annoying and tedious to look this way, but I feel like I want it to be a first person because I have been working with a lot of third persons. Let's move my follow camera. I want to get it a bit higher. Let's see to my eyes view. I want to see what my mate sees. There. Wait, I think this part is kind of black. Let's go ahead and rotate, and I'm going to hit something like R. Let's rotate it. Wait, am I my bad, guys. R was to scale. I think E is to rotate. There we go. Let's turn my camera all the way there. Okay, you still use root component as setup attachment for your follow camera. You should use camera boom if you want to look up. Oh, guys, I keep forgetting that part. I should write it somewhere. Let's go with something like camera boom. Okay, I mean, I actually was going to remove the lookup, honestly, because I feel that is kind of annoying. Okay, but I should actually work on that. That's the thing that I keep forgetting. That's why I keep, like, practicing this thing. Let's go with something like W. Let's get this a bit forward. There. I want to look what my image looks. Now, let's hit Control S here real quick. Let's go here. Let's hit something like Control Alt F11 to patch my code again. While it's patching, I might eat an apple. Okay, let's go to my entire image. I want to decrease the size now. There. Okay, does the size look good? I mean, it looks kind of big. Maybe I want to increase the size a bit more. Let's go to my... I want to decrease the size a bit more, so I'm going to go to my image. And then let's go with something like R. Let's decrease it a bit more. Whoops. There. I think that's good now. They both look like real small, guys. But I feel this looks kind of cute. Let's go a bit lower. There, let's go a bit higher. Guys, I think it is kind of cool for like mage to be staying up a bit. Okay, let's go back to my mage. Now, I'm gonna go to my capsule component because I want to decrease my capsule's size. Let's go with something like scale. I want to decrease my capsule. Wait, whoops. Let's go with Control Z. Okay, that's capsule component. I just want to decrease the size of my capsule, not my mage. That's fine. Let's go ahead and hit something like Control Alt F11 to patch my code real quick. Okay, once it's done patching, I'm gonna go ahead and run the code, and now let's see what happens. Oh, my bad, guys. I forgot to set a player upon possess, so I'm gonna go all the way here, type something like player. Actually, possess. Let's go with something like possess. Oops, not my floor, for my mage. Okay, I'm gonna set auto possess to something like player possess 0. Now I'm gonna see from my player's perspective. Is he small? Okay, I think it's kind of big. I want to decrease the size a bit. Let's go with something like this. Okay, wait. Let's go with something like W first. Get him a bit high. And then let's go with R. Decrease the size. Oops, shut up, guys. Did I mess something up here? Let me go up. Okay, I want to go with something like my mesh. My static mesh. And then let's decrease the size. There. I think that's good. Okay, perfect. Now I want to go back to my static mesh, go with something like W, get his position back here. There. Wait, did I reset my camera as well? What up, guys? Let me just go ahead and adjust this real quick. Go a bit there, go in front of him. Maybe go somewhere here. Guys, where do I get better lighting for this? Okay, I think he's inside my capsule, right? Yep, we're very sure he's inside my capsule. All I gotta do is get him a bit back. A bit back, go down, 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 down. There. Okay, now he's down as well. Wait, I want to get him a bit lower. Let's go lower. There, that should be good. Okay. Actually, wait, let me get him a bit higher. There. Okay, a bit more higher. Now, I want to get my entire mage's instance lower. So my capsule comes down with me. Okay, that's actually perfect. Let's go ahead and extend that a bit. I want to go ahead and get my camera a bit lower. I'm going to go to something like my follow camera. Let's get that lower. Let's delete this. Go to my follow camera real quick. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hit something like W. Get this a bit lower. There. I want to see what my mate sees. Let's go with something. Let's go a bit back. There, I think that's good. Now, if I did Control Alt F11 to compile my code while it's compiling, my read an apple real quick. Okay, let's do something like escape real quick. I want to go ahead and change a few settings up here. W is going to be -1 and S is going to be +1. There we go. Let's hit Control Alt F11 again. Patch my code up. Okay, let's go ahead and run the code. Now I can move forward when I click W. I can look to the left and right. Wait, left and right moves me forward and backwards. Let's hit something like escape. Gotta fix that as well. Let's go somewhere here. Okay. I'm gonna change my move actor forward vector to my move actor right vector. Let's hit something like Control S to save the code. Go here. Hit Control Alt F11. Okay. There we go. Succeeded. Let's exit that. Let's run the code. Where are you from? Honestly, I did stop answering that these days. That's it. Let's go with D to left, forward, forward, backwards. Now, time for the collision. I do collide with him. If I were to hit Shift F11, get my mouse, open my output logs, it says you have collided. So the collision logic works and my movement works as well. Can I look upwards? I cannot look upwards. That's the thing that I gotta probably fix real quick. Whoops. Guys, I think I did not think the map part through. The map is pretty small. I mean, I did like shrink the map to be this tiny because I feel like a small map is much better than like a bigger map. Okay, that's it. Let me go a bit higher. There. Now, I want to change my position again of my follow camera. This time I want to go with like a third-person perspective. So, I'm going to go ahead and get that higher. And then let's go with something like E to rotate. I want to go ahead and rotate it lower. There we go. Maybe this way. And then I'm going to go with something like that way. There. Okay, that looks kind of good, right? What up, guys? Let me rotate it properly. There we go. I mean, I think that looks kind of good. Isn't there like an easier way to rotate? I could rotate it using this. Whoops, let's hit Control Z real quick. I want to rotate it like this. There we go. Okay, that looks kind of good. I want to go a bit lower. So my position is going to go lower. And then I want to go a bit to the back. Nope, not to the right. I want to go towards the back. There. I want this to be like a good little third-person perspective. Not rotate. Let's look a bit lower. There we go. That should be good. Okay, this is going to be a very good third person. Now, let's hit something like Control Alt F11 to compile my code real quick. Okay, maybe let me go ahead and eat something. If I run the code, let's see what happens. Alright, guys, this is not what I expected it to be. Let's hit something like escape. Set up attachment has camera boom up here. That has pitch input. That has yaw input. I binded them up. But I still can't look up. Just want to say that revising the axis binding was not the right fix. Your camera was looking back. That's why the movement was reversed. The capsule arrow is forward of the player. Oh, I see. Okay, wait. Let me actually check that. So let's see the arrows. So the arrow is in front of the player. So my camera is basically upside down. That's why I can't look upwards. To fix that, I might go somewhere here. Whoops, let me get my follow camera real quick. I want to reset my positions and my location. Now, I want to go ahead and turn my camera this way. Okay. Oops, let's go this way. I want to get it up. Now, I want to look downwards. Okay, let's go ahead and change this for me to look downwards. And now my camera is straight. Let's get this back. There we go. I want to get this a bit more to the back. And then I want to go a bit lower. Oops, not that. Let's change that. There we go. Okay, this should work. Let's hit something like Control Alt F11. Now my spring arm and my camera is together. Okay, I'm not facing the other direction. Let's go ahead and run the code. There. Okay, so I can go ahead and move around every time I collide with this thing. I hit Shift 1. I see my output logs. Okay, wait. Didn't it like give me a collision text? Did I not collide? Okay, this time I definitely collided. Oops, Control F1. Guys, what happened when I click Control F2? Okay, it does say you collided, so I did collide. Let's hit Control F2 again. There we go, F3. Okay, now the thing is, why can't I look up and down? I think I know why I can't look up and down. I gotta go ahead and reset. Whoops, let's hit something like Control Z. Let's go to my mage. Let's go ahead and reset my positions real quick. Now, Okay, wait, I'm gonna hit Control Z real quick. I want to go to my follow camera and reset. Excuse me, guys, everything here. Excuse me again. Let's hit something like Control Alt F11. This time I will be able to look up and down as well because it's definitely my camera position. Alright guys, I think I made a lot of Control Z's. There we go. Okay, let's say something like escape. I gotta change this back to -1. And that to +1. Now here's the thing, for my lookup, I cannot look forwards or backwards. What might the reason be for that? Let's think. So my root component, my setup attachment is my camera boom. Could it be because I changed my camera's position? What if I were to go with like my major, hit something like reset? I want to go ahead and reset my major's position. Oh, I see, there was negative position, that's why. There, let's go up here. I want to go a bit to the back. Oh, that makes sense. I had negative position, that's the reason. Okay, let's go with some positive directions. Let's turn it a bit. Let's go ahead and rotate it. And now I think I should be able to look up and down. I'm also learning Lua soon. That actually does sound kind of cool. Good luck with your Lua journey, hey you. You won't be able to look up and down. You read the mage in. Okay, you read the mage in as you use constructor to make it, and structure will be only set up once. I see. Okay, let's hit Control Alt F11 real quick. Okay, the details. Your camera is not a child of the camera boom. Wait, is it? Oh, it's actually not. Okay, but I did like set a attachment of my follow camera to be my camera boom. My point controller is paused, that is correct. Maybe I hided my lips real quick. Hi bro, hiding Pythagoras, is that how you pronounce your name? I appreciate you joining the stream. Whoops. What up guys? Okay, see the details. Your child is, your camera is not a child of camera boom. Okay, how do I get it to be the child of my camera boom? So your camera is not a child of your camera boom. Okay. In my constructor, I did set up this attachment. In my mage's header files, okay, I mean, this was supposed to be pretty much basically. Okay, this should make it the child of my camera boom, shouldn't it? Okay, wait, let's go back up here. Whoops. Let's go ahead and open my Unreal Engine, hit Control Alt F11 real quick. Let's compile my code. Result success, successfully patched. Okay, let's go ahead and run the code real quick. Okay, I cannot look up. Your constructor will only be called once when you add the stuff to the scene. You made changes, those are not reflecting. Re-add it. As you made changes, those are not reflecting. Re-add it. Oh wait, I think I see what you mean. So the changes that I made, it's not actually reflecting and I gotta re-add it. Doesn't mean I need to like re-add my constructor. Wait, what if I go with Control Alt L to open my maybe 0HP's C++ file. Let's exit that real quick. Okay, maybe let's go ahead and exit that, go with Control Alt L. Maybe open my 0, or maybe do I have like my dragon class anywhere up here? I actually did not. Okay, let's see. So 0HP actor, these are all my actor classes. Man, I'm just seeing your stream for quite a few days. I was wondering why do you stream so late? Nothing personal, just asking randomly. I feel like I am streaming pretty early these days, like it's almost 2 p.m. for me right now. But then once my college starts, my stream time is gonna go like 2 hours ahead of where I actually start streaming because I will be having college type stuff. Oh, I see. Re-add the character. Mm. Let's go ahead and remove my mage from here real quick. Now to re-add it, I'm gonna go to my content drawer, go with something like my mage's class. Let's go ahead and re-add it here. Okay, now I'm gonna get it like a bit higher. There we go. And my camera is like really far from me. There we go. So camera boom. Now it is a child. I did not know anything about that. There we go. So all I had to do is just re-add it. Okay, now I will be able to look up and down. Okay, and guys, why am I all of a sudden really slow when moving? Did I like change some settings that made me like really slow? Okay, that's it. I'm going to go to something like my static mesh. So let's go with something like that component. Let me go ahead and add a static mesh. This is going to be my mage's mesh. So I'm going to go with something like mage. Okay, and then let's go ahead and get my mage's mesh a bit to the front. There. Okay, perfect. And then I want to go ahead and rotate it a bit. Okay, let's rotate it that way. And then get me a bit to the back. Okay, that should be pretty much good. Now, I want to go ahead and decrease my size. So I'm going to go with something like this. I want to decrease the size of my entire mage's instance. Oops. Decrease the size. Wait, I might hit W real quick. I want to go a bit higher. A bit higher. Now, let's hit something like R and decrease my size. There. Why do I keep going back the smaller I get? Let's go with something like W. I want to get myself here. Whoops. Alright guys, let's go ahead and click my static mesh real quick. I want to get my static mesh back here. There, that's good. Guys, why am I so slow? How did I become so slow, guys? That's it. Let's go ahead and click this. Go lower to... There. How did I become so slow? Okay, I want to come a bit to here. There we go. Okay, now where's my camera? Boom. Let me go to my follow camera. Okay, I want to get it a bit back. Why am I going back? I just want my follow camera. There we go. Let's go with... Okay, my static mesh is a child. Why did I keep my static mesh as a child of my follow camera? Let's go with something like static mesh. Okay, there we go. Now it's not a child of my follow camera, so I'm gonna go... Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add a mesh. Let's go with something like mage. Okay, now I'm not gonna do the same mistake as before. I want to decrease its size first. I'm gonna go with something like R. Let's decrease its size real quick. And then I'm gonna go with something like W. Get myself here. Move myself a bit to the front. There. Maybe a bit smaller, so I'm gonna go with something like R. Let's become a bit smaller. Okay, and then I want to go ahead and go a bit lower. Let's go a bit lower. And then I think my capsule size is pretty good. There we go. Oh wait, never mind guys. I gotta get it a bit to the left. Okay, so let me go all the way here. Can I go towards the left? Okay, let's actually get my static mesh here real quick. I want to move towards the left. That's backwards. Let's go towards the left. And then I want to go a bit lower. Okay, that looks pretty good, right? Okay, wait, actually, does it look good? Okay, let me go a bit to the back. There, now I'm inside my capsule. Okay, perfect. That's like pretty much it. Let me go ahead and grab my camera real quick. I'm gonna go with something like camera. Boom. Can I decrease its size? So maybe not. Let's go to follow camera. My actual camera. Let's get it a bit high. I want to get it a bit back. Guys, that's a tiny camera. Okay, let's go a bit lower. So I want to go ahead and decrease my size to be a bit lower. And then maybe a bit to the left. There we go. Okay, and then I want to go a bit in front. Let's go ahead and rotate. Okay, let's go ahead and rotate it backwards, maybe forwards. There. And then I want to go a bit in front. Okay, perfect. There we go. My camera is all the way there. Now, if I were to go ahead and select my entire capsule, and then maybe, I'm still inside my collision, right? I could go with my static mesh and go a bit to the left. There we go. Now I'm in the center. And then get my follow camera. Go a bit to the left as well. So, there. Okay, now I'm pretty sure I'm in the center. Okay, let's hit something like Control Alt F11 to compile my code. Okay, let's wait for it to patch. Once it's done patching, I'm gonna go ahead and run the program. Okay, my bad guys, I forgot to set my player possess. Let's go back to my mage. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna type something like possess. Okay, let's set player possess to be something like 0. Now let's hit Control Alt F11 to patch my code real quick. Once it's done patching, I'm gonna go ahead and exit this. Okay, let's run the code. There we go. I can look up and down as well, guys. What? My perspective here is kind of awful, but I won't say it's bad. I won't say it's bad. I just gotta work on fixing my camera. I don't know what kind of camera did I use, but if I go with Shift F1, it does not see collide. Hold up, guys. Let me actually go a bit here. Okay, I gotta fix my... Okay, wait. Firstly, let's hit escape. Why does my project setting keep changing? I want that to be -1. I want that to be +1. I want that to be +1. I want that to be -1. Actually, I want this to be -1. And that to be 1. Let's check my camera real quick. My camera is with me. Why do I see from like a third person perspective in that case? Could it be my camera? Boom. So my camera, boom. Okay. Oh, I see. Let's change that to be something like 0.0f. Okay, let's hit Control S to save the code. Let's go with Control Alt F11 real quick to compile my code real quick. Let's patch this up. Okay, now let's go ahead and extend this. There we go. Okay, why is my camera boom that far away? There's my... Wait, I see something there. That's my camera. Okay, wait, I'm gonna go with my follow camera. I want to go ahead and drag its position to be a bit forwards. Right there. There, I think that should be good. Let's hit Control Alt F11 to compile my code. What are your PC specs, bro? Honestly, I'm using like a 32GB RAM MSI's motherboard and Intel i9's processor. I'm not using a specific GPU because the GPU that I am using is like integrated inside my motherboard. There we go, finally. Okay, let's go ahead and move backwards. Oh, whoops. Okay, yeah, the motherboard that I am using, the GPU that I'm using is integrated inside my motherboard. That might be the reason why my stream is a little laggy because, like, guys, the graphic card does cost like $200 type stuff. But I might actually get that soon. Okay, let's see, and that's like pretty much it. Just so I have a camera that moves around. Maybe, what if I wanted my camera to be a bit more in the front? So I'm gonna go ahead and get my camera a bit more to the front. So I'm gonna go with my follow camera. Okay, let's get it a bit more. And guys, I wanted to like work with the shooting logic as well, like where I could actually deal damage or something. Okay, let's hit Control Alt F11, but I do want to like fix my movement first because if like the movement is sloppy, it does get kind of annoying. Okay, let's go ahead and exit that, run the code. There we go. I can look upwards, I can look downwards, I can look to the left, I can look to the right, I can walk around. I can collide, most importantly. Okay, wait, hold up guys, it's so hard to control. Oh, no wonder. Okay, let's hit something like escape. I'm gonna go ahead and change that to be 1 and -1. Okay, no wonder it was getting a bit hard to control. Let's hit something like Control Alt F11. Okay, and guys, make sure I gotta like save my code after this is over. Let's go ahead and exit that. Let's go to something like content jar. I want to save all. It's really important to save all, guys, and then let's go ahead and run the code. Now, there we go. I can collide. I can go to the vertical left. I can go towards the right. I can collide again. Let's collide. And then if I were to Shift F1, open my content jar, it does not say collision. Do I just accept collision from one direction? There. Did I accept collision? Okay, let's go ahead and collide. I collided. Let's collide from the back as well. I collided. Let's go with Shift F1. Okay, it does say collision. I have collided. Okay, no wonder it can handle that much multitasking, but it's impressive. I can handle Unreal Engine 5 while using integrated GPU. I see. Okay, that's it. This is like pretty much it. Now, I want to go ahead and maybe I'm going to start with some UIs as well, like game UI and all that stuff, because I might actually need that stuff. That's it. Let me say something like Sensei. I'm done with adding the, let's say, collision logic and my player. Let's go with and my player with its movement. Although, can we learn how to create UI now, question mark. Is that the next step, question mark? Like, maybe health bar and all that stuff, question mark. Okay, because I honestly don't know what like the next step is gonna be. Let's eat some apples real quick. Oh, let me chew the apple real quick. Mm. Okay, good. You didn't waste time. That alone puts you ahead of most people who talk about making games. Yes, UI is absolutely the next step. And no, this is not just visuals. UI is game logic made visible. If your UI is bad, your game feels bad, even if the correct code is perfect. So let's frame this properly. In game development, the natural order is input, movement, collision, feedback. You just unlock the next layer of feedback. Health bar, scores, text, icons. These are how the game talks back to the player. Now, Unreal Engine 5 handles UI. Pay attention. Unreal uses UMG, Unreal Motion Graphics. Think of it as logic in C++, presentation in widgets. A widget is just a class that draws things on the screen. This is going to be really fun. The important mental model, your player owns the data, health, score, state. Your UI reads that data and displays it. UI should not decide game rules. UI is a mirror, not a brain. What you should learn first, no skipping, create a basic widget, health bar, progress bar, optional text for health value, okay, add it to the screen, usually from player controller or character once at begin play, not every frame. I'll yell at you if you do that. Bind UI to player data, health variable lives in player, widgets reads it and updates the health bar. This will force you to learn reference between classes, separation of concerns, why bad architecture hurts, why, which is exactly why we're doing this right now. What not to do, I'm warning you early. Do not put health logic inside the widgets. Do not update UI every tick because it works. Do not hardcode values in the UI. If you do it, it will work and still be wrong. Mini goal for the stream/session. Player has health, collision reduces health bar updates correctly. When health hits 0, print debug or disable movement. That is a real game loop. Quote for you and the viewers, author unknown. If you can't see the state of your system, you don't control it. I see. You're doing this right. Now slow down enough to clean it. Next step, UI, so you just see the road ahead. Damage system, state machine, simple AI reactions, but you earn UI first. Go, start with a health bar. Don't you dare turn this into a mess I'm watching. Hold up, let me say something like Sensei. I honestly have no experience when it comes to this. I don't know the functions, syntaxes, or order in which we add this and where to add in .h or .c++ or both ... Can you teach it to me step by step, question mark, and do I need classes to add that, question mark? Okay, let's see. Okay guys, this is going to be kind of fun slash complicating as well. Okay, good, you admitted ignorance instead of pretending. That's how skill is built. Now sit and follow the order. Game dev is sequence, not magic. Yes, you do need classes. No, you do not need to panic. We will build this like engineers, not button mashers. I'm gonna teach you the mental map first, then the exact steps, then we write it. The core idea, burn this in your brain. C++ holds the truth, health value logic. Widget UMG shows the truth. Okay, character creates the widget once. Widget reads health, never controls it. UI is a window, the player is the house. Files you will touch only these. Your player character C++ class owns health. Okay, a widget blueprint shows health bar, optional but clean. A C++ widget based class. Let C++ talk to UMG safely. Yes, we use .h and .c++. Anything that stores data goes in H. Anything that does stuff goes in C++. Okay. Step 1, add health to your player. Player H, U property, Okay, add health to my player, so I'm assuming it's my mages class. Max health 100, U property visible anywhere, blueprint read only, category stats, floating point of current health. Okay, why edit anywhere lets you tweak. Wait, is there edit? Oh, there's edit anywhere. That's something new. Okay, lets you tweak an editor, blueprint read only, lets UI read it. UI, I'm assuming UI is on, no, UE is Unreal. UI does not write health, okay. Player character C++, okay, then in my major C++ file, my player character begin play, under my begin play, I set my current health to be max health. I want to start at 100 HP. Stop. If you don't initialize this, your UI will lie to you, okay? Step 2, create a widget blueprint, no code yet. In Unreal Editor, right-click User Interface Widget Blueprint. Name it WBP Health Bar, okay? Inside the widget, add process bar, name it exactly health bar. Do not rename randomly, consistency is power. Step 3, create a C++ widget class. Yes, you need it. Widget class. Oh, widget class. Wait, we might have a widget class. Okay, let me read it first and that might try. Because C++ can safely talk to blueprint widgets without a bridge. Create a C++ class parent. User widget name health widget, okay. Health widget.h. Okay, include core minimal blueprint user widget, okay, and then I create a function. Is it already created for me? I see. Okay, did you bought ChatGPT? It's free. Honestly, I am like using the free version of ChatGPT, like free version. There we go. Okay, next up, because I feel like the ChatGPT Plus, I mean, it is good if you like send pictures, but I feel like it it talks more robotic type stuff. I mean, it is an AI. It should be talking like an AI, but I feel it feels like much better to me if I use the freer version. Why not bother? Actually, does make sense. Step 4, connect widget to blueprint class. Sorry, misspelled. I see. Okay, open WBP health bar in class settings. Set parent class to be health widgets. Okay. I don't like to type in phone. That actually does make sense. I feel like it's like real hard to type in phone. Okay, that's it. Step 5, create and add widget from players. So player character.h UI. I see. Player character.c++ include. Okay, I gotta include all that stuff. This runs 1 per frame, not per hit, once. Step 6, UI when damage appears, when collision happens, change health bar. Current health minus equals to damage amount. Current health fmap clamp. Current health 0 max health. Okay, this is gonna be really fun to do. But I want to do it while looking at the reference as well. Let me get my Sensei/ChatGPT in the other window so I can like see the instructions while I actually do this thing. Okay, let me scroll all the way up. There we go. Now, the first thing that I gotta do, the core idea, files you will touch, your player class, okay? Now, add health to my player class. So I'm gonna go all the way here till my mage's header files. In my header files, I want to create U properties, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and create a few U properties. Okay, let's go with something like health bar content. Okay, and guys, the reason I'm naming it health bar content is because I don't know what else to name it. Okay, that's next up. Once I'm done with this, I gotta create a U property. Let's go with something like PROPRTY with a parentheses that says it's going to be edit anywhere. And guys, I am like copying this part because I don't know like the syntaxes just yet. That said, I'm going to go with something like edit anywhere. The second parameter is going to be blueprint read only, any category. We can also say bot. I see. Okay, that's it. Let's go with something like blueprint read only. Okay, the third parameter is going to be a category, which is going to be equal to something like stats. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and create, let's say, a floating point variable of something like max health. I've never seen this used like this. If he already bought ChatGPT, I see. Okay, max health is going to be equal to 100 points F, which is going to be a floating point of 100 because my health starts at 100 HP. And then once I'm done with this, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and create another U property. Okay, let's change it to something like max health. There we go. Okay, let's go with max health, and then I'm going to go ahead and add something called current health. Current health, CURRENT HEALTH. There we go. Now, under my current health, I'm going to go ahead and add a U property. Let's go with PROPERTY. There we go, with a parentheses that says I want it to be visible anywhere. Let's go with visible anywhere. I want it to be blueprint read only. Let's go with blueprint read only. Then I want to go ahead and add a category. Let's go with a category, which is going to be equal to something like stats as well. Let's go with stats. Okay, perfect. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to create a floating point variable for current health as well. Let's go with floating point variable of something like current health. Okay, but I won't set it to anything. I won't set it to be equal to anything because my current health is going to start at my max health, which is 100 HP, and decrease over time. I see why. Let's you edit anywhere. Okay, and then in my player.c++, which in this case, it's going to be the C++ from my mages class, under my begin play, I'm going to go ahead and add a content. I'm going to go ahead and set my current. Oh, I see. Every time my game begins, my current health is going to be equal to my max health, which is equal to 100 HP. Then I end this with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done with that, create a widget blueprint, no code yet, in my Unreal Engine. Let's open my Unreal Engine. Maybe decrease the size a bit. Remove the possess. There we go. Okay, in my Unreal Engine, I want to do something. Firstly, I want to go to my enemies class here. I just realized something. I want to go to my static mesh. Let's get it a bit back. There, and then a bit to the left. Now I'm inside the box, because I wasn't always completely inside the box. Perfect. Okay, now let's go ahead and go to something like tools. So I'm going to right-click user interface. Right-click, and then I'm going to search for user interface. I don't find that. Let's go with What up, guys? Let's go with INTER. I don't see user interface widget blueprint. Name it WP. Okay, I did not see user interface. Do you guys see it anywhere? Okay, I see we placed. I'm positive it says right click. Okay, maybe I go up here to my tools, go to new C++ class. Do I see a widgets class? I do not see a widgets class. So let's go ahead and cancel real quick. Maybe widget blueprint right click. So that's left click, that's right click, and then I gotta go to my user interface. Do you guys see user interface somewhere here? Maybe I might go with something like widget WIT. Okay, I do not see widget as well. Maybe I get sensei/chatgpt here real quick. There we go. Okay, let's get this all the way here. Let's extend this from here. Okay, then extend from the bottom as well, because I have a quick question. If I were to go all the way down here, there's blueprint. There, for this step 2. Okay, let's copy this. Let's paste it here. Let's go with Shift Enter and say something like sensei. For this part, when I right click, when I right click on my Unreal Engine, or like in my UE5, I don't see. Let's go with something like I don't see user interface or widget blueprint or widget blueprint. There we go. Let's see. Maybe I go ahead and shout out on some apples. Okay, let me chew my apple real quick. There we go. Okay, stop freeze. This is normal, not a mistake. Unreal is just hiding the door, not removing the room. Listen carefully. UI in Unreal Engine moved and it confuses everyone at the first time. Why you don't see user interface? Unreal Engine 5, Menu based on context. If you right click in the wrong place, it won't show UI stuff. This is not your fault. This is Epic Game being Epic Games. Okay, do this exactly. No freestyling. Method 1, the reliable way. Open content drawer, control space. Okay, go to content or any folder you want. Right click an empty space, not an asset. Click user interface, click widgets blueprint, name it WBP health. Okay, method 2, search menu slide, widgets. I might try it the first way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open my Unreal Engine, go to my content drawer. Let's go to content, right click. Okay, let's go with something like user interface, and then I'm gonna go with something like widget blueprint. I'm gonna go ahead and go with all classes. So, well, let's name it. Guys, I forgot what I had to name it. WBP widget. WBP. Okay, widget blueprint. I forgot the name, guys. Okay, name it something like WBP health bar. Hi, bro. I always see you more power. I always see you more power to you for always being consistent and inspiring us. It actually means the world to me. I appreciate you, Mr. Peace. Okay, that's let's go back to my content drawer. This is going to be, let's go with something like R and rename. Okay, WBP, let's go with something like health bar. Let's go with something like rename. WBP underscore health bar. Whoops, maybe I go with something like health bar. Okay, WBP underscore health bar. Okay, perfect. Now, once I'm done adding my UI here, is there something that I gotta do? Let's get Synthase/ChatGPT up here again. Okay, let's say got my blueprint. Let's say maybe I get this in the new tab because I want to like see the instructions while I do this stuff. Okay, let's scroll all the way up here. There we go. Now, once I'm done creating the class, add health bar to your player. Add health to your player. Okay, I did that part. Then no code yet. Add progress bar inside widgets. So inside widgets. What does this mean by inside widgets? Do I gotta open my widget? Name it exactly. Add progress bar. How do I? What up, guys? Let's go ahead and exit this. Let's get Synthase/ChatGPT back up here. I have another question. Let's extend this. Let's extend this from here. So, apparently what I had to do now is after I created this part, no code yet, progress bar. Okay, let's go with this thing. Add progress bar. Let's go ahead and copy this. Let's paste it here. Okay, so let's say I got confused in this step as well. I created a widgets class. Okay, and then let's see what happens after I create widgets class. But what did the inside widget create progress bar mean question mark? Do I double click my widget? Okay, let's see. Okay, yes, double click it. This is where people panic for no reason. Let me get this down here. There we go. Okay. You can create widget blueprint. Now you have the UI design. Everything happens inside. What's inside the widget actually means? A widget blueprint has two parts: designer, visual layout, buttons, bar, graph, logic. We're not touching this yet. Okay, right now we are in designer mode only. Do this. Double click widgets. Open the widget editor. At the top, you'll see designer, graph, click designer. At the progress bar on the left, find palette. If you don't see it, top menu, window, palette. In palette, expand common, drag progress bar into the big empty canvas. That is your health bar. Okay, yes, that's simple. Rename it. This part matters. Now click the progress bar you just added on the right, details panel. At the top, find name, change it to health bar. Okay, not health, not HP bar, not progress bar, health bar. Okay, you just did the important part. I see. Let's get this in the other window because I do want to like look at the instructions while doing this part. Let's scroll all the way up here. There we go. Now I gotta go ahead and double click this top left search progress bar, drag it in. Oh, I see it. Okay, let's double click this. Okay, maybe let's go ahead and get this somewhere here. There. Now I see designer, I see graph. I'm in designer and then progress bar. Okay, and then designer. Next up on the left you'll find palettes. Add the progress bar. So I gotta go ahead and add the progress bar. Oh, I see. There we go. Okay, so I added the progress bar. Let's go ahead and decrease the size a bit. Give this a bit here. There we go. Okay, and then if you don't see it, Windows, expand common, drag progress bar to the big empty canvas. Okay, and then on the left find palette. Do you guys see palette? I see panel here. Let's type palette. Okay, P-A-L-E, or let's go with something like P-A. I just see panels. I do not see palette. Okay, if you don't see it, go to the top menu. Let me actually extend this, guys. I can hardly see anything. You guys could actually go to my horizontal stream if you guys want to like see me do this part like with the full screen type stuff, because I feel like it's going to be much easier if I do it like in the horizontal place. That's it. Top window, go to something like window. Go to something like palette. What if I type palette up here? Let's go with something like PA. There we go, palette. Click it. There. Okay, I see my palette. Drag progress bar to the empty canvas. Rename it. This part matters. Progress bar. I gotta go ahead and rename it. Let's hit something like R. Progress bar. There we go. Let's go with something like rename. I'm gonna name it something like health bar. Health bar. Okay, now I can like decrease the size maybe. There we go. Can you guys, if there are times when I'm going to be increasing my windows size, so if you guys want to see my entire window, you guys could like go to my horizontal stream. Okay, let's see at the top, change it to health bar. Okay, C++ does not forgive sloppiness. What you just did, important for your brains. You did not create stuff. Okay, now we get something slash ChatGPT here. Let's go ahead and extend this from here as well. Let's extend it from bottom as well. Whoops. Hold up, guys. There we go. Okay, let's say something like done adding. Okay, done renaming to health bar. Okay, let's see the next step. Okay, let's go all the way up here now. Okay, now the next step. Okay, let's see. Step 3. Create a widget class. Okay, yes, you need it. How do I create a widget class? Let's copy this part. Let's paste it here. Let's go shift enter and see something like sensei. What did you mean by this? What did you mean by this question mark? How do I create a widget class question mark? Let's see. While sensei is tapping, let me eat some apples. How about I feel like the apple is kind of chewy. Okay, that's it. What create a widget class actually means you're not doing this inside the widget blueprint. You're not doing this by the right clicking in the context drawer. You're creating a class that inherits from user input. I'm assuming that's Unreal user widget that talks to the class, talks to C++, connects to the blueprint, controls the health bar logic, blueprints in the face. Top menu, tools. So I gotta click tools. Class section, you'll see a list. Click user widget, not actor, not character, not font, user widget. Click next, name it something like health widget. Okay, no prefix, no U, no WBP. Okay, health widget. Wait, Unreal will generate H and okay, recompile. I see. So this part should be easy. Hey bro, which city you're in right now? Honestly, I used to say that, but these days I like avoid saying that stuff. That said, let's go to something like new map. Before new map, I think I gotta compile. There, let's go to something like new map. Now I'm going to go to something like tools, new class. Let's go with something like widgets. These are the common. What if I go to all class? Widget. Do I see widget? I see objects. Let me get some /ChatGPT back here. I forgot the class name. Okay, so I gotta go ahead and go click user widget. So I gotta go ahead and select user widget. Let's go with something like user widget. There we go. I see user widget blueprint. Okay, maybe I go with something like widget. There, I see user widget. Let's hit something like next. Let's name this something like health bar. Oh, alright, but just wanted to ask, are you in India? Honestly, I'm not in India. That's it. Let's see. Let's get some /ChatGPT here. I'm gonna name it something like health widget. Okay, let's name it something like health widget. Health widget. Did I spell widget correct, guys? widget. Okay, let's go ahead and create a class. widget. There we go. Once I'm done with that, let's wait for the code to be added to my project. While it's being added, guys, should I eat a banana? Maybe I might eat some more fruits. Let's go ahead and reload all. Okay, this does look like a pretty empty class. That's it. Let's get some /ChatGPT back up here. Whoops. Let's get it all the way up here. Now let's scroll all the way down. All the way up here until the methods. So until the steps. Step 3, I created a widget class. Step 4, okay, health widget.h. I gotta paste this inside of my header files. View progress bar. This is gonna be fun. I think I'll have to like type this part out. And then widget.c++. Firstly, let's go to my header files. Go with Control A, Control V. Let's go ahead and paste this here real quick. Maybe I'll go with Control Z. Let's paste it here. Okay, so all I had to add was something like a U progress class. I had to create a class. This is a C++ class. And then I create a on Rails class, and then I create a class for your project underscore API, uHealth widget, public user widget. Okay, this is the first time I'll manually be writing this stuff. Public function blueprint callable, and then a void method for update health. I see, bro. Are you daily live on my YouTube live feed? What is you doing about? What you doing is above my head. Like, okay, what is this, bro? Finally, I stopped and asked you, but you seem to be a sharp kid. Honestly, guys, I feel like I'm far from sharp. That said, what I am doing is I started a program for like 250 series, and my goal by the end of the series is to make a game in general that consists of AI logic in it. So I started learning Unreal Engine because I started like a 100 Days of C++ series, which was indented inside of my program for like 250 series, which was over 2 days ago. I am planning to learn Python as well, so I want to implement my Python for my AI logic and my C++ for my actual game logic type stuff. Then I'm trying to use those to get together. But before that, I gotta learn how to master my Unreal Engine, because I feel in my Unreal Engine I'm gonna be adding all my content and all that stuff. That's let's see. I created all this here. Let's get some /ChatGPT here. Now in my C++, I'm gonna go ahead and copy this part. Clean and simple. Okay, so this is control. I'll have to get a lot of practice in this though. Let's go ahead and delete that. Let's paste this here. So I include my health widget. This is my class's name from my components. I go ahead and include progress bar.h. I think I see what this part means. Okay, pretty self-explanatory for the time being, but I get a small error here. uHealth widget. The spelling is wrong. Unreal's health widget. Never mind, guys, it's correct. It's just my compiler. Expected a semicolon. I'm pretty sure that does not expect a semicolon. If I were to go to my .header files for this class, it is just like a colon. Okay, so it's Unreal project underscore API. Okay, so I did this part, but I get a I think it's correct. Let's hit Control S because it's just my editor. It keeps messing. It keeps like bugging at times. That's it. So let's get some /ChatGPT here real quick. Whoops. There we go. Okay, let's see the next step. Let's exit this part real quick. Connect widget blueprint to class. Open WBP. In class settings, set parent class to be a health widget. I'm gonna get this in the new tab because I wanna actually look at my reference while actually writing this stuff. I was at step 4, right? Okay, step 4, open WBP class. I'm gonna go to content drawer, open it. I'm assuming I gotta double click and open it. In class settings, maybe I go ahead and get sensei/chat GPT back here again. I want to ask what it means. And guys, it gets so tedious to like get it from one window to the other window, then extend this part. But let's go ahead and extend this, go down. I was in step 4. Let's go ahead and copy this. Let's paste it here. Let's go shift enter and say something like sensei. Can you explain this part, question mark? Like, what does it mean? Okay, while sensei explaining, maybe I eat some apples. Have you done VLang already? Honestly, I haven't like tried VLang, but many of you guys did like tell me I should try it. What's it about? Okay, let me chew my apple real quick. There we go. Okay, good. This is the most important concept in Unreal Engine's UI. If you don't understand this, you stop being. If you understand this, you stop being a button clicker and you start being an engineer. I'm gonna explain it. I'm gonna explain what it means, why it exists, and what actually happens. Then I'll tell you exactly what you need to click. Breathe, focus. What set parent class health widget means right now, your WBP health bar is just a dumb shell. Can draw a progress bar, can sit on the screen, cannot talk to C++ logic in a reliable way. When you set parent class to health widget, you're saying this widget blueprint is a health widget, not uses, not reference, is a. This is inheritance, pure object-oriented programming, no magic, no Unreal nonsense. The object-oriented translation, burn this in, okay? Think like C++ health widget, okay? Now the blueprint says WBP public widget. Oh, I see. Okay, I think I see. So instead, let me go all the way up here. Instead of U health widget, I'm gonna go with something like WBP underscore health widget. Is that wrong? Bro, in which grade are you? I have never seen such a clever kid in my YouTube live feed, and I still can't understand anything you're doing. Are you making a game or something using ChatGPT? Honestly, I am like a freshman in college, and I am actually like, I'm working on game logic this stream, but I'm not like making an actual game type stuff. I'm using ChatGPT/Sensei to like learn the basics because I've like never used Unreal Engine. That's it. I feel like once we do understand it, it does get kind of easier. That's it. Let's go with Control-C, copy that, get Sensei/ChatGPT here. Let's go ahead and paste this here. And then let's go here till my health.c++. Maybe I go with a bunch of Control-Z's real quick. Let's go with Control-C here as well. Okay. Now I'm gonna go with Control-A, Control-C, copy that. Let's get Sensei/ChatGPT here. Go with Control-A, Control-V. Excuse me, guys, and then go here. Go with something like Control-A, Control-C. Get Sensei/ChatGPT up here again. Okay, and then I go with Shift Enter, and then let's go ahead and paste this here. Maybe scroll all the way down. Okay, let's go here and say something like Sensei, this is, so let's go with something like this is my .h and .c++ file. So should I add anything to it, question mark? I mean, I'm pretty sure I do need to add something to it. Let's let me eat some apples, maybe. Okay, let me chew up real quick. Okay, I feel like I'm so dumb here. Honestly, you're not too dumb, girly girl, because basically, I feel like I'm dumb as well when it comes to like stuff like this, but then I feel like acting is everything. Like, if you pretend you know it, then eventually it does start working. And now I am starting to get a pretty good grasp of it because I did like, have some practice with this stuff. But without practice, of course, it is going to be a bit harder. So if you try practicing some of this and understand the concepts, I feel it is pretty easy actually. That said, what your health widget right now is, right now your class is empty but correct. Your U health widget that inherits all the public content from my U user widget generated. So your class is empty but correct. Okay, this means the class exists, the blueprint can inherit from it, Unreal won't crash, but it does nothing. Think of it like this: you built a control room, but there are no buttons read yet. That's intentional. Okay, what this class is meant to do, health widget has one job: expose UI elements like your progress bar to C++, not design UI, not place widgets, not draw bars, only to hold references, update values, react to game logic. The first thing we add and why: the progress bar you created in WBP health bar, named exactly health bar, needs to be grabbed by C++. We do that with bind widget. Okay, bind widget is actually something I've not heard of that. What you will need to add, do not add anything else, so I gotta modify my health widgets' header files to firstly include my components or my progress bars as header files from my components, okay? Then user widgets as header files for my blueprint as well. Then I create a U class, okay? It's gonna be an Unreal project underscore API. I've never done this part manually. I go with U health widget, okay, which inherits all the public content from my U user widget. Then I go ahead and generate my body, and then under my protected data members, I create a U property which is going to be meta that equals to bind widget. Okay, I'll definitely need to watch a lot of tutorials and read the docs after the stream. That said, U progress bar is going to be represented by a pointer of my health bar. Stop there, do not add functions yet, do not add C++ logic yet. Why this works: important, bind widget tells Unreal at runtime find a widget named health bar in blueprint and plug it into the pointer. If name matches, parent class wrong, widget not compiled. Then health bar equals to null PDR. I think I see. I will be copying this for the time being to check if it actually works. I'm gonna go here. Okay, I already have my Unreal project API selected. I'm just gonna go with something like delete this part and paste it here. All I needed to add was my blueprint user widget and my components / progress bars as header files. Then I had to go with a protected data member, create a U property. Let's see what else it has. So all I needed to add was my progress bar, nothing else. Okay, I had to go with something like protected. This finds the progress bar named health bar in WBP health bar. U property meta equals to bind widget. I bind my widget with my C++. Progress bar is going to be my health bar. I see. Okay, let me say something like... Okay, let's just copy this real quick and then scroll all the way down, paste it here. Let's say something like, done adding that to my .c++ file. Okay, let's see the next thing. Perfect, stop and think for a second. You just build the bridge between C++ and Unreal. The progress in the blueprint now has a C++ pointer. This is huge. This is how engines know which bar to fill, which bar to shrink, which bar to yell, and to yell at when damage happens. Next step, this is where game comes alive. When we'll spawn this widget in your game so it actually shows on the screen. This is the fun part. This is the moment your UI stops being just an asset and becomes a part of your game logic. Before we jump into the code, do you want your health bar attached to the player like above the boss player or pawn, or fixed on the screen like a normal HUD? Let me say something like above my player. Okay, because that would look kind of cool. Every time I collide, I'm going to decrease the health. That's good. Above the player it is. Now listen closely. This is step by step and cannot be skipped. This is where most people screw it up. Step 5, spawn the health widget above the player. Add a health UI widget pointer to your player or boss class. Since your boss is a character, inside a boss.h public or protected. Inside your a boss, okay, public or protected, I'm gonna go ahead and create a U property that says edit anywhere. Blueprint read write. This is something new. Usually I go with blueprint read only, but this time I went with my blueprint could either read or write my widget. Then I create a category which is set to something like UI, and then I create a T subclass of A pair of ankle braces user widget. I'm going to be calling it health widget class. And then I'm going to go ahead and create a Unreal's widget, which is going to be represented by a pointer of health widget get instance. Explanation: health widget class lets you assign the blueprint in editor. Drag WBP underscore health bar here. Health widget instance will be the actual spawn widget and runtime. Spawn the widget in C++ inside begin play of your process class. If health widget class, okay, inside the begin play, add a if statement. If my health widget class is true, health widget instance equals to create widget, you health widget, okay, get world, and then health widget class. I think I understand kind of what this means. And then if my widget instance is set to true, health widget instance is going to be pointing towards add to viewport. Temp for testing screen space. I see. Okay, note. We use add to viewport temporarily so we can see it. Later we'll attach it above the player using a widget component. The attach above player step. Okay, I see. Now let's go all the way up here real quick. I do want to copy this part to actually check if it works. So I'm gonna copy this. Since your boss is a character, under my boss.h property, inside boss.h public or protected. I see. So let's go to my, actually I'm gonna go to mage because my player is mage this time. Okay, mage.h under public or protected. I could add it under either. Let's paste it here. Okay, you property blueprint read only. Oh my god, hi hiding pixel Shinobi, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that said, maybe let me go ahead and just chat around. I think this is like a pair. Okay, I can tell that is not rap at all, guys. I think that I opened my file explorer real quick. Hold up, there we go. Okay, so add a health widget pointer to your player or boss class. Guys, I feel like this is one of the hottest pears that I've eaten in my life. That felt like an apple, honestly. Okay, spawn the health widget above the player. Okay, so where does it actually point towards? Let's see. So I'm gonna go all the way up here. Hi, Dog Story, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, let's go with something like Control A, Control C. Let's get Sensei slash GP up here. Let's go ahead and paste this. Go with Shift Enter and say something like Sensei. I feel like I added it's in the wrong place, question mark. My player is my mage's class. Let's go with something like my mage's class, ... Okay, look at this, people. You didn't ruin anything, but yes, you put the health widget stuff in a slightly messy spot. Let me break it down. Where it should go, your properties for UI should not be mixed in the middle of the movement functions or camera stuff. A clean structure should look like this. U class, Unreal Project API, generated body, mage. Under my protected, I have this. I have camera component. I need to have a UIs section. In my UIs section, I paste this part. Okay. Then I go with public, virtual tick, wide. Okay, I see. So under my camera, under my follow camera, I'm gonna go ahead and add another comment that says something like UI. So this is going to be where I add my UIs as content. Let's paste that part here. I think this comment look much better. Somehow ChatGPT/Sensei's comments is like much fancier than mine. This is actually genius to add spaces. This makes it look so much better. Okay, U health widget. My U health widget is still kind of wrong. U health widget, U property. Okay, here's the thing. Do I need to include... Oh, maybe I gotta delete this part. Whoops. Let's remove that real quick. Let's remove this. So there we go. Let's add a semicolon. Now, do I gotta go ahead and include something? Brother is amazing. Honestly, yeah, this is actually getting kind of fun, adding the UIs and all that stuff. I'm going to be like adding health bars and all that stuff now. That's a bit. Let me go with a bunch of Control Z's. This should actually work. U-Health widget, I cannot actually use that. Is it because I need to include something for that? Let's go with Control A, Control C, get Sensei slash ChatGPT here. Pretty sure I gotta include something like spaces, go with Shift Enter and see something like Sensei. I can't use my U-Health widget. Okay, do I need to include something question mark? Because I see a red underline under it. Exactly, the red underline is your enemy warning you people you haven't included the header of uHealth widget. C++ doesn't magically know about your widget class unless you tell it. Fix it at the top of your page, add this include health widget.h, so your include section should look like this, hashtag include core minimal, hashtag include game framework slash character.h, and then I gotta go ahead and include something from my camera. I gotta go ahead and include my camera component.h, and then from my game framework, spring component, did that. And then I gotta include health widget.h as well. I did not add this. That's it, the red underline goes away. Optional tip, if you ever get circular dependency issue, you can forward declare it like this, class uHealth widget, okay, just health widgets is header files. Okay, so before my generated, I'm gonna go ahead and include something like health widget.h. Is that correct spelling? Did I spell it correct? Alright guys, let's go all the way here. Health widget.h. Okay, perfect. Okay, which grade are you from? Emperor of the Oaths to determine how stupid you are, guys. How stupid you are is kind of crazy. That's it. Let me actually maybe go ahead and mute myself real quick. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. I thought there was like background noises type stuff. Okay, what am I even commenting, guys? Actually, it does make sense. That's let's see. So I go ahead and include this part. That lets me use the uHealth widget. Okay, that's perfect. Let's go ahead and hit Control S here. Get some slash chat GPT back up here. Now, let's see. Am I missing something up here? Let me think. That's it. Did that. Let me say something like, done say. Okay, let's see the next part. While I'm seeing that, let me go ahead and eat some apples real quick as well. Alright, guys. Give me a second. Let me actually chew my apple real quick. Okay, step 6. Spawn the health widget above the player in main.c++ begin play. I have a void method called begin play. Under that, I add a if statement to check if my health widget class is true. If it is true, I do something. Okay, and then I check if my health widget instance is set to true, I do something else. Okay, I add it to my viewport. I think I want to go ahead and just copy this part real quick. This goes in my C++ file. Okay, let's go back to my Unreal Engine, actually my Visual Studio real quick. In my main.c++, under my begin play, I'm gonna go all the way down here. Wait, actually, inside my begin play, not outside. Let's go ahead and paste this part. And then I'm gonna go back to /ChatGPT. Let's see. So in the constructor, okay, this is a bit huge. I'm gonna go to in my mage.h. I'm gonna go ahead and include widget slash component slash widget component.h and then add a u property. Okay. Bro, really just copy paste AI code, then goes, oh, I'm learning, then told to RTFM, he goes, oh, I learned better with AI. Guys, I think honestly, like the reason I am actually copy pasting the code is to check if it works, because like I don't want to like type it out and like the code ends up being wrong type stuff. So first I do check if it works. Once I actually see it works, I look at the reference and I work on the reference type stuff. That said, let's go all the way up here again. Now I gotta add this in my mage.header in my mage.h above the mage. Okay. So firstly, I'm gonna go ahead and paste something. Oops, let me go ahead. Go here. Let's go ahead and copy this part. Now I'm gonna go to something like my mage.header files. Let's go ahead and paste this here. So it's component slash widget component. Okay, and then let's see. I gotta go ahead and add my u property somewhere as well. Let's copy that. Now, I'm assuming I gotta go ahead and paste my U property here. Okay, so it's visible anywhere, a U widget component. I'm assuming the U widget component is the actual component that's going to be displayed in my Unreal Engine. That actually does make sense. Okay, and then once I'm done with that, I gotta go to my C++ in the constructor. So I'm assuming this is my constructor. I copy this part, editor steps. Okay, here's the thing. This is my constructor. So my constructor is gonna be in my C++ file. I'm gonna go down and paste that here. This is the constructor for my UI. Maybe I add a comment. Let's go with a bunch of spaces. Go with a comment that says 123 UI. Guys, I think I actually like the way ChatGPT decorated the comments here. I might actually start decorating my comments like this. Okay, bro, release that I copy paste AI code and don't beat it, but with different words, guys, different words kind of crazy. Let's see. Let's go with something like tab. Okay, that looks kind of good. Now, once I'm done with that, RTFM also means read the manual. Oh, I see. I actually didn't know that part. Let's get some C/ChatGPT back here. Now, editor steps: compile, select mage in the level, assign WBP health bar, create class, hit play, bam, your health bar floats above the mage. Okay, editor steps: compile, select mage in the level, assign WBP health bar to health bar class, assign WBP health bar to health widgets class. Okay, this part's going to be a bit confusing. Let's go back up here. Now, I gotta go ahead and compile. I compile that part. Let's go here. I gotta go ahead and hit something like Control-Alt-F11 to compile my code real quick. Let's see what happens. Oh, guys, give me a sec. Let me actually meet myself. Already mic testing. Okay, perfect. Back here. Okay, so it says compile failed. Let's see why. Maybe, do I need to give the memory address? Usually I get the compile fail because I don't think there's anything missing because I did just copy paste basically everything here. Let's hit Control S. I forgot to save my code. Now let's open my Unreal Engine up here again. Okay, let's go with something like Control-Alt F11. Let's wait for it to compile real quick. Okay, let's wait for it to compile. I get an error. This is why I actually like copy pasting the code first instead of like writing it out myself because of seeing errors like this. That's it. Let's go ahead and exit that real quick. Let's go with Control-A, Control-C, copy my H files. Let's go ahead and paste this here. And then I'm going to go with something like Shift-Enter, go with my C++ file, go with Control-A, Control-C. Let's paste my header files here as well. And then I'm going to go with Shift-Enter and see something like insane. This is my, let's go with something like this is my .h and .c++ files, this code. And when I hit Control plus Alt plus F11, I get this error. Okay, let's see the error that I get. Let's get my Unreal Engine back up here. Now, I forgot what error. Let's go with Control Alt F11 again. Okay, let's wait and get an error again. Okay, so I get a build fail error. Let's go ahead and copy this part. Oh guys, that's a massive error. Hold up. There we go. Okay, this is a huge error. Let's go all the way back up here. Let's go ahead and go with Shift Enter, paste this. Alright guys, that error is massive. Oh, I see exactly what's screaming at you people. You're getting all these errors because UHealth widget is not defined properly. Let's break it down slowly and I won't let you leave until this is fixed. Your health widget.h is wrong right now. You have something like this. This is invalid. You must replace your API project with the modular API project name of your project. Okay, it must be Unreal project underscore API UHealth widget. Right now you have something like this, and then I gotta create a class. Let me go ahead and just copy this part. Okay, what did I have different here? Protected U progress bar. I did everything here exactly the same. I gotta fix this class, your project underscore API. Oh, this is just a class. I have a U class up here. Let's go all the way up here till my widgets.h. I have a U class, so maybe let's go ahead and paste this here. Was that any different? I think it was a bit different. Okay, you didn't rot it. Rot it. Is that a pronounced consequences exist? I see. That's it. Let's say something I control. Let's get something. I should get my Unreal Engine here. Drop the AI from your learning. Just drop the AI from your learnings, guys. Kind of crazy. Because I feel like I do actually learn the most with AI type stuff. That's it. Let's go ahead and run the code. There we go. So all I had to do was just fix that part. Okay, let's see the difference. While I feel both are exactly the same, like you help widget inherits all the public content from my user widget. And then I have a public function. There we go. It's a u function, blueprint callable, void, update health. I did not add this part. I did not add this public function here. Okay, I guess I gotta learn what it does later on after the stream ends. Let's go with Control-Shift-C. Okay, maybe I go ahead and remove everything here until the pragma one. So let's delete that part. Let's paste it here. There we go. Now let's hit Control-S. Let's go back to my Unreal, hit something like Control-Alt-F11. Now, I don't actually see, let's wait for the code to patch up real quick. Okay, there we go, successfully patched. Now that it's patched, where's my actual object that I must see? Maybe I gotta go to my content drawer, drag and drop this. Cannot drag and drop it. Okay, can you make a Gunner game, guys? Make a Gunner game is kind of crazy. That's it. Let's just say /ChatGPT here. Let's say something like the code compiled, but am I expecting to see something on my screen? Question mark. Okay, learn some Blender to make good character models. I think, guys, I actually did work a lot and made Blender type stuff. Like if I go to my output log, actually in my content drawer, let's go here to my content browser. If I go to my Blender QBX file, I made like a lot of files. Like this is my 0 HP's files. Whoops. Guys, I don't know how to show it to you guys here. Let's go to static mesh. So these are basically my meshes, and then I have like a dragon NPC that I made. Let's go to something like static mesh. I made like a lot of things like from Blender type stuff. That's let's go ahead and just close everything up here. Okay, and this is my blenders with FBX files too. But the problem with FBX file is that sometimes it does not load the texture in. Okay, that's it. Let's get some /ChatGPT back here. There we go. Okay, now you're creating the widget but not adding it to the HUD properly right now. Your image begin player, you did health bar widget. That does add it to the screen, but only if the widget class is set to the editor. If class is empty, nothing will show your widget component versus viewpoint add. This is the one that floats above the character. Okay, updates. Health updates. Even if the bar appears, it won't move until you call it health widget instance. Update health, current health divided by max health. Okay, did work a lot in Blender, but bro took a lot of time slapping a texture on a plane and putting cubes in the Blender besides each other. Guys, that actually does make sense, but then the next, like the ones that I made for the health bar that took like much more effort type stuff. Honestly, let me actually open my Blender real quick. I do want to kind of show it to you guys. Let's open my Blenders as FBX. Let's go to something like my health bar. Okay, let's maybe go with something like 40 HP health bar. How do I open in my Blender? Okay, maybe I open Blender real quick. I want to actually show you guys how I made that stuff though. But I might have like a different stream where I actually work on Blender. Wait, let me actually exit this. Let's close that. Let's decrease the size from here. Excuse me again, guys. Okay, here, my Blender meshes. Let's go with something like Dragon health bar mesh. There, here's my health bars as mesh. There we go, guys. Let me just get this here for the time being, and then I'll get my chat up here as well. That's the left one. That's the right one. Show us your Blender project. There we go. So this was the Blender project that I actually made. Let's go a bit more to the left. There. So apparently this is what I was actually working on. Like, how do you move around in Blender? I actually forgot that part. But let's see. Oh, actually, I remember. We go with something like shift. There we go. There we go. And then I go ahead and move myself. There we go. Let's go with something like shift. And this is technically what I made. And the reason I made it like this is because if I were to go with my imager, I had an image up here as well. I don't think I can like see the image right now. But let's go here. Let's go to something like desktops. And now I want to go ahead and open my PNGs. I cannot find my PNGs. So there we go. Maybe I go with game items. So hold up guys, give me a sec. Let's go with something like game items. I can't find it, sure. Maybe I go with something like, let's go with Control A and then go with something like image. I want to go ahead and drop a background image. If I go to something like desktop, do you guys see game items somewhere? There we go. Under my game items, if I go under my health bar section, I have 40 HP health bar. So basically what I did is, this is my image here. I should have gotten it like in the x-axis, but I kind of messed up. But this is like my image here. All I had to do was load a plane, then get the plane at center, so I have one exact vertices, then like trace this up here and all that stuff. After I was done with that, all I had to do was just add some texture binding. Let's hit X for the time being and delete this. But guys, I feel like it was kind of cool the way I did this though. Okay, that was like a quick little blender tool. If I go to something like my UE editing or like my texture painting, I did like actually add my textures as paint here guys. It was kind of easy to add the texture paint. Okay, dude, these meshes are so simple. Honestly guys, because apparently I'm not like really good with blender type stuff, but I used to be like really good. Don't say for the time being. I used to be really good at using blender. Like, let me actually check if I have the pictures of what I made. I can like upload those pictures under the modeling section of my Discord. Let me open my Discord server real quick. Let me go to something like the modeling chat. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this here. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Okay, I actually modeled these things. Let me go ahead and get my Discord server here. And guys, if you haven't like joined the Discord server here, the link will be in the description. It is like a quick shameless plug. That said, if I were to go to my modeling chat all the way down here. Okay, so these were the meshes that I used to make. Because before, like I think a year or two, I think like it's been like 3 years now, I used to be really good with Blender. Like I made this mesh and then I made like this. I didn't take much pictures because before I didn't think I would actually need the pictures type stuff. I made like this as well, and and those were all the pictures that I took. I made some off pictures as well, like low poly meshes and all that stuff. But guys, these days I feel too old. I like lost my skills in Blender. That's let's go ahead and exit my Discord. Okay, perfect. Okay, where was I? I think I should like watch some kind of tutorials for this and like read docs to like actually get this working on the window. So I think I might actually end the stream right now. Hold up guys. Feel like the apple just made my hand a bit sticky. Hey, are you geared? No offense. Honestly, I'm not gay. I'm actually straight. That's it. Let's say something like Sensei. I feel like I might have to watch a few tutorials and read some docs to understand this, but I will do that off stream because I don't want to get a copyright. Okay, that said, before I do end the stream, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers, question mark? Okay, let's see, bro. Just use computer. Bro, just used computer, used AI to make those Blender things probably. Guys, I did that manually type stuff. That's it. Let's see. Emperor of Oaths, guys. Emperor of Oaths is kind of crazy because before there's like a really really like funny fact about me. It's like when I start doing something and I get super addicted to it. Like back when I used to use Blender, I used to like use Blender for the whole day. Then I went up and started using Discord. I used to be like in Discord for like almost the entire day. I used to be like a Discord addict. I'm glad I was, so I could like create a perfect Discord server type stuff. But that said, it's like I feel that was kind of funny. Mr. Oaths have to end the stream due to having no skills and anything. Guys, that's kind of crazy. That said, listen up viewers. Tonight people is diving into Anvil, fighting with widgets, health bars, and pure C++ mayhem. Remember, every error is just a brick on the road to mastery. Don't fear failure, embrace it, and keep watching people struggle like a legend. Vivek is taking notes off stream, so you know this isn't just chaos, it's learning in real time. Stay hungry, stay curious, and never let a bug win. Now go grab that knowledge while I make sure people doesn't waste another second. That said, let's go to my main camera. Alright guys, so basically that was pretty much it for the stream. I might have like streamed longer if like there was no copyright, guys. I mean, I feel like copyright is kind of important as well. That's it. I will watch a few tutorials, read a few documentations of Unreal Engine 5 off stream. Okay, that's it. If you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Like helps my algorithm, sharing makes you smart, and subscribing is like cherry on top. That's it, guys. I did start multi-streaming on Twitch, Kick, YouTube. I will start multi-streaming on Instagram and TikTok as well if I did meet the followers requirement. So if you guys do enjoy my content and follow me there, make sure to follow me there. The link will be in the description. And also join my Discord server. We did like hit 100 members, I think like 20 days ago. I appreciate you so much for that, guys. The link will be in the description as well. That's it. I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace. Guys, let's not actually spam. Let's end the stream.